Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Putting the lens on Grenada, its people, and its possibilities. This is State of Affairs. Presenting this week, I am Sherry Noel. Keys the multi-million-dollar modern port facility at Tyrrell Bay, Carriacou officially handed over to manager of Grenada Ports Authority Carl Felix during an official ceremony. More comfortable learning environment for preschoolers in New Hampshire as new wing is now complete. And the Ministry of Labour, with the assistance of the International Labour Organization, trade union representatives and employers, work on occupational health and safety policy for Grenada. These are the images from across Grenada. This is State of Affairs. More stories after this.
Yeah, I know you that win from back to back, you know. There's no way that man could ever beat you. When you went to about 5
One of the last.
Too fast. Man run with hold on. Rennie, you're not the same girl. You have all that amount of boyfriend. In truth. Yeah. That's your chance, Hold on. It's the walk. Alright.
Whenever a pedestrian is attempting to cross a pedestrian crossing or any other road, he must first stop and make sure that there is no oncoming vehicle. However, if there is any oncoming vehicle, he crosses briskly from one side to the other. If there is any vehicle proceeding, he ensures that vehicles come to a complete stop. After that vehicle comes to a complete stop, he crosses briskly from one side to the other. Remember, your safety comes first.
Tyrrell Bay Port in Carriacou has been officially commissioned and is expected to commence official operations by end of October 2018. The port, which was constructed at a cost of 7.3 million EC dollars, will see the suspension of Hillsborough as a sister isle principal port of entry. For some time, there has been calls on the administration to construct a proper facility for Carriacou, as the present facility at Hillsborough has outlived its time and was no longer appropriate for the volume of activities and daily traffic. Wendy Edmond has more.
The newly constructed port in Tyrrell Bay is a replacement to the old structure in Hillsborough, which was in danger of collapsing and as such presented a danger to life and limb of those who used it. Prime Minister and the Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, who attended the official opening of the $3.4 million Tyrrell Bay Port facility in Carriacou in early October, said that the project is part of the infrastructural development for the sister isles.
I'm particularly pleased with what is taking place here today because it has enormous implication for economic spin-off for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique and the country as a whole.
The contract was awarded to Jiangsu Geology and Engineering Company Limited, and the sword was turned to mark the start of construction in January of 2017. Now, after 18 months of construction work and modification of design, a new structure has emerged, complete with a welcome center, sit-in facilities, warehouse and office space, and washroom facility. General Manager of the Ports Authority, Carlisle Felix, now anticipates enhanced service for passengers from regional and international ferry services.
We at the Grenada Ports Authority are very happy that at long last we are able to provide persons traveling between Grenada and Carriacou with all of the basic amenities that traveling persons deserve. In that regard, we do hope that persons traveling on the Osprey and other local ferries are going to appreciate the shelter from the elements, the restroom facilities that have been provided, the seating accommodation, as well as the comfort of air condition that will be available as the need arrives.
Former Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, Alvin Nimrod, was recognized by Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell for his initiative to ensure the port facility was constructed. Dr. Mitchell also spoke of future plans that will spell greater economic benefits for the sister isle. One of them is a decision by Carnival Cruise Lines to extend further cruises to Carriacou and Petite Martinique, while the other will be upgraded air transport facilities. He said plans are already in train for an extension of the runway in Carriacou to accommodate small jets.
Plans are being laid with a Chinese company, looking at designs to increase that runway facility, provide opportunity for small jets to land. The final plan would be to create a new airport, and that, of course, has been identified in the Dumfries area, and that will be, of course, it will take a lot more resources. And so the medium-term plan and long-term would be this. The short-term plan would be taking care of the increase in runway space at the airport. What that means, sisters and brothers, further development for our country, further opportunities at all sectors of the society.
Parliamentary Representative for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, Honorable Kendra Maturin Stewart, said the new facility holds significant economic benefits for Carriacou and, by extension, Grenada.
What we, the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, have today is a state-of-the-art and modern port facility with significant improvement in warehouse space. With this facility, we expect to see significant improvement in the service to port users, a reduction in cargo dwell time, and improvement in vessel turnaround time.
Minister Maturin Stewart says that she is happy that passengers will no longer be exposed to the elements of the weather while waiting to board the ferry, since the facility took into account the island's future developmental needs.
These facilities will not only ease the burden of transacting business, but it will also allow for increase in the volume of business we see here in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. More people will want to do business here now that the facilities are here. I am very confident that these facilities will open new opportunities for our people, with larger ships berthing here at times.
Persons who use the port in Carriacou on a regular basis gave their views on the change of port location in Carriacou.
I've been on the ground here for quite a while, and my opinion basically is that it will impact positively on most of the taximen lives, because the 40% of the people that we have coming into the island basically centered somewhere around Hillsborough area, and now that the port is relocated, it means an extra dollar in the taximan pocket. The tongue will remain the tongue as far as I understand it, but the port in itself would be in Harveyville, so the amount of volume of traffic that you have flowing from Harveyville to Tongue will increase by 40%. At the beginning, probably would grow more at a later date. The taxi men are excited. We just need a little bit of cooperation within the system as we go to Harveyville in the way that we will be operating.
It would be an additional expense in terms of transportation of material from the new port, because basically that means that it's no longer a case where there are some items that can be discharged from Hillsborough and other items that cannot be accommodated from Hillsborough be discharged at Harveyville. That means everything inclusive of cement. Well, I mean, there's nothing I can do to change the situation. The most we can do is see what creative ways we have to absorb or reduce the expense of transportation in terms of getting materials from Tyrrell Bay. But I don't look at it as a loss of business in comparison to some of my fellow businessmen, because when you look at businesses in Grenada, there are some businesses that are further away from the port that strive a lot better. You have to make creative ways in enticing your customers to come to your business and have lucrative prices and have your customers satisfied, so that if they have to go all the way to Paddy's Enterprise, they know they're getting good quality and good service. You know, and that's my take on the situation. I don't really think it's going to be to our detriment. For that matter, there are certain things that could not be done in St. George's that we're entertaining doing from Harveyville. For example, we have some equipment that could not be utilized because of the condition of the jetty. The port has decided that it is too heavy to be used on a jetty, but as the port is moving into Tyrrell Bay, those equipments will be used to transport our material from Tyrrell Bay to our site here.
Meanwhile, those who are concerned about the traffic arrangement in the Tyrrell Bay area because of the new port are being assured by the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force Caracas branch that plans are already in place to ensure a smooth flow. This has been a look at the newly constructed port facility in the Tyrrell Bay Harbour. For State of Affairs, I am Wendy Edmonds reporting.
This is a Grenadian reality. This is our current state of affairs.
Guys, if I ask you what you think is the most deadly or the most dangerous creature on this planet, what are you going to say?
A shark.
Shark.
A lion.
A lion. If I tell you it's a mosquito, what do you think?
Mosquito. A mosquito.
It is a mosquito.
Mosquito bites result in the deaths of more than 1 million people every year. Thriving in humid and damp areas, mosquitoes reproduce quickly. The females lay their eggs in water and water-holding containers. When the pupa changes into adults, they leave the water and become free-flying biting insects. These biting pests can carry a number of diseases. Once you have a mosquito problem, check out your surroundings. It means that the mosquito breeding source is near your home. It is almost impossible to get rid of mosquitoes entirely. However, we can all play our part in controlling the mosquito population. Mosquito control is not solely the responsibility of the Ministry of Health, but it's also the responsibility of every member of the community.
It is said for a child to excel in his or her education, an environment conducive for learning is of paramount importance. With this fact in mind, the government of Grenada, through the Ministry of Education, has addressed the issue of space at the New Hampshire preschool, which for years had been adversely affected by its small size and lack of adequate amenities. The new wing was recently handed over in the presence of Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for the area, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell.
For quite some time, the New Hampshire preschool in Willis St. George has been adversely affected by its small size, lack of adequate amenities, and a roof that was termite infested and slowly falling apart.
There were bats living in the roof, and it was kind of hazardous for the health.
The roof, it was dusty at times. There were noises that was very distracting to the teachers and the students. And so on, there were water marks on the wall, so we know that the roof definitely was a problem.
Our children needed space and a much cleaner environment. But at my school, it was like a matchbox. We were all crammed together. Just imagine. Staff and pupils, we all use the same toilet.
Before, the school only had 2 classrooms. We had 3 teachers to teach, so we had to combine 2 classes in one. So there would be a 4+ and 2 3+ together.
There were no kitchen facilities at the school, which proved to be quite inconvenient.
Before, I used to go down at the big school and bring up lunch every day.
Before, the meals were really late.
We then made a plea for help. Our dear Prime Minister heard that call and answered. Sir, to you I must say thank you, a special thank you, for your quick response and a job well done.
Construction work began on the school extension project in June 2018 and took 2 months to complete with a team of approximately 7.
The scope of work is a 10 by 24 building. Classroom, a toilet and a kitchen. But we also do a repair on the roof. The whole entire roof. Yeah, you had termites and things, so we take out the whole roof and put new plies and whatsoever. Yeah, so that's what it cost the 2 months.
At a total cost of approximately 60,000 EC dollars, the New Hampshire preschool welcomed the addition of its new wing at an opening ceremony on October 1st, 2018. The school now has an additional classroom, washroom facilities for staff, and a well-equipped kitchen. Student meals are now always on time.
It's better more than if they have to take it from quite in constant time and bring it here for them.
Food cook on time. I shared at 11:30. They get everything on time, and the children always ask for more food.
They have a nice kitchen, and the workers who are in the kitchen very nice people.
Well, the parents they are quite pleased.
Some of my children come to that facility up here. Them children will learn. I feel they go learn better up here because they have more space, and now they're getting hard food.
Teachers are not sick as before. Now we are breathing fresher air, and we are at school every day now, so we don't have to take any sick leave or anything like that.
I like to see the situation with them. They have a better place, so they could move about and they could play, you understand?
I know from all that was provided here, we will have a better outcome in learning.
More materials and so have been added to the classroom, so they have more to interact with as it regards to learning.
I'm proud of the fact to have some say in what is taking place today, because I know what it is to want an education and cannot get it and have to struggle to get it. So when it's coming to your doorstep, you can't afford to miss it. So I want to thank all of you. It's your initiative, you know. You all need the most credit. We did our part, but I also want to say that without you guys' initiative, we wouldn't be here today.
As a community, we felt good, and we were encouraged when we saw our very own young men and young women from right here in the village working hard, working tirelessly, working overtime to make sure that we have a top-class facility.
It was not a hard thing for them because they know how to work, and they had some good men, and I'm proud of them.
Us really made our day.
Contractors Richard Braveboy and his brother Joseph Braveboy are from the New Hampshire community.
All my workers is from the community. 2 of the painters is from us. Yeah, we have 2 ladies, which is Kisha and Natalie. They work very well. Yeah, and then 3 other guys.
And they work day well as night to see the building go up. rain and not when they was there. Put hands together, hand in hand. Right now, it's good, and I love to see it.
We're quite happy to do it and continue to look out for more work.
I want to say thanks to the contractors and the government for hiring me.
We expect a lot of good things coming from the community because of this new environment you have here. So parents, continue to give your support to the school, continue to secure and guard this place.
On the behalf of the principal, teachers, and the PTA of the New Hampshire Pre-Primary School, we would like to express our sincerest thanks to our Prime Minister, Dr. Mitchell, our Parliamentary Representative, Brother Tobias Clement, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Work, and every other person who are involved in making sure that we have this lovely institution that we have today.
I believe that we in New Hampshire here will go from strength to strength with your support.
For State of Affairs, I'm Annette Moore.
This is the Grenadian reality. This is our current state of affairs. A policy that will look at safety at the workplace is now nearing completion. The Ministry of Labour, with assistance from the International Labour Organization Specialist for Social Protection and Occupational Safety, Ariel Pino, recently conducted Part 2 of a Occupational Health and Safety tripartite discussion to come up with a final working document to present to the relevant stakeholders as it relates to occupational health and safety. This is in keeping with the fact that the Government of Grenada in 2012 ratified Convention 155 that deals with safety and health in the workplace. A draft National Occupational Safety and Health Policy for Grenada is nearing completion. The Ministry of Labour, in partnership with the International Labour Organization (ILO), held a workshop recently at the Grenada Trade Centre Annex to deal with the process of policy for government. ILO Specialist for Social Protection and Occupational Safety and Health, Ariel Pino, lent his expertise to the workshop, which took the form of a tripartite discussion with employers, government and trade unions. In 2012, the Government of Grenada ratified Convention 155 that deals with safety and health in the workplace, and in 2016, the first consultative workshop supported by the ILO was held to begin the process of the development of the Occupation Safety Health Policy for Grenada. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour, Lima Frederick, says her ministry sees the hosting of the tripartite discussion as timely and in the best interest of the working population of Grenada.
Today is a continuation of the work which began in 2016 and which we need to bring closure to by hosting this workshop to finalize the policy. We cannot delay any longer on the completion of this document. Occupational safety and health in the workplace is an integral part of one's work life. Good practices enable a worker to be safe on the job while continuing to provide for his or her family. It also improves the image and the bottom line of a company. However, the absence of safety and health can incur loss of lives, grief to family and friends, loss of income, poor image of a company, and the employment of damage control initiatives to reverse bad practices. The NIS paid out over $300,000 from January to July 2017.
what's on the bone, and you're selling it for your friend. Mr. Man, if it's pork you're selling, chicken you're selling, if it's food you're selling. Give me the Christmas vibes, if it's pork you're selling, chicken you're selling.
And good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
We continuing. Yeah, your name is?
Isaiah Romain.
And your name is?
Anissa Romain.
Right. Okay, right.
We have a quadruplet in studio today.
I should I bring Jamil?
Yeah,
Jamil or
Jamil, yeah.
I bring Jamil? Yeah. Good morning, Grenada. Once again, it's time for Hard Talk. We're live on 97.5 FM.
89.5 CRFM.
92.9 on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
And 94.9 We Vibes Radio in Brooklyn, New York.
Wed! Good morning! Yeah, we hope that you're having a wonderful day with the wap wap. Yeah, you wapping.
Kunumunu man. Now it's Christmas and I ain't saying nothing, you know.
But you know, one of the good things though, it's cold in New York and so, but it's not snowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when it's snowing and so, I mean, that point in time, we just have people vex with us.
Yeah.
Because these guys had to go and dig through snow and all kind of thing. Yeah.
But you know, when it's not snowing, I don't like it, you know, because most time it does be windy. And that's where it becomes nippy. That's the bad part of it, yeah.
Or let's talk about them thing. I just pass and leave. I don't stick in them thing to know about that.
But it's a better weather to live in when you're not America, the winter. I'll tell you why. You dress to suit.
Is it what?
The best weather to live in up there, because you can dress to suit.
Go and tell that to them people who are on the cruise ship out there. Go and tell it to them.
Them born in it. In the summertime.
They born in it so they know better. That's why they ain't staying in it. They're coming out.
In the summertime you can't. Oh man, sometimes you just have on a short pants and you're still not comfortable. But
yeah. But we have the children in studio with us this morning.
Yes, we have the children in school. They're not in school today. And so they have a day off.
Why they're not in school, Devon?
Well,
truancy officers pay note, eh?
They say they taking their walk to rule today.
Their walk to rule today?
Their walk to rule today.
Isaiah, that's true? Isaiah, you're taking the day off today?
Yeah.
So, Isaiah, what school do you go to?
RC.
Which RC?
St. Andrews.
St. Andrew RC. And what grade you in?
Grade 3.
Grade 3. What's your favorite subject?
Math.
What?
Math.
Maths? Why you like maths? Why you like maths? You just like it? Ah. Wow. Maths was the hardest subject for me. That was always the one that's hardest for me. That's the one used to give me the most problems, you know. And that's the one you like? Wow, but that's good. That's good. And what's your teacher's name?
Mr. Gilbert. I supposed to have another teacher named Miss Vincent, but she's not well today. So Mr. Gilbert is teaching us.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we hope that Miss Vincent gets well soon. Make sure and tell her, she might be listening because she hear one of her students on radio, you know. So make sure and tell her get well soon. Go ahead, tell her.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Just tell her get well soon. Oh.
Get well soon.
Right, so yeah, but you enjoy school. You like school. You like going to school.
Yes.
Nice, beautiful, beautiful. And what do you want to be when you grow up, though?
I don't know yet.
You don't know? But that's a good answer, eh? That's a real good answer, eh? Yeah, because how old are you?
8.
8? Yeah, but that's a good answer, eh? Just take your time and make up your mind, isn't it? Nice, beautiful. Well, you've been to the studio before. Yeah, so you're no stranger. That is Sass girl, yeah, and come in the studio. You realize GBSS fella there, GBSS fella there. No, not me.
Wait.
I keep going thing, eh? Nice.
Ask him what he wanted. Which secondary school?
Which secondary school you want to go to?
I'm trying to tell him that it's a tradition that most of the Romain guys go to GBSS.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean that's where you should go, right?
I ain't taking part in that discussion. I'm not a Romain, so I can't say nothing. But what school would you like to go to? What secondary school you want to go to? Which one you feel you want to go to?
Sass.
Exactly.
Why SAS? Why not GBSS?
I don't like GBSS.
Exactly.
But why you don't like GBSS? What has GBSS ever done to you, young man?
Don't beat me up.
No, man, no way. No way.
Your father was a GBSS man.
They doesn't beat up people
your
in
uncle
GBSS.
was GBSS.
But I still want to play in SAS.
Exactly.
But it doesn't beat up people in GBSS. My son wants to go GBSS. He's 10 and he wants to go GBSS.
Good for him.
So Isaiah, coming on, when you was home, you said that when you get to the radio, you want to say hi to your teachers and your friends, and you want to say something to them for the holiday. What it is you wanted to say to them?
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Wonderful. And you're saying that to everybody as well, because we have people that are in Canada listening to you now. We have people in all different parts, US and so on. That's people in New York and people in California. Everybody listening to you this morning. So we're saying to them as well. You're telling them Merry Christmas as well?
Mm-hmm.
All right, wonderful,
Everyone.
wonderful. What, somebody don't want to go with Isaiah? Carol, behave yourself. That's not your relative, Devon. Carol is not your relative. No, what? Carol, as in Carriacou?
Yeah, Carol as in Carriacou.
Yeah,
Good morning, Carriacou.
Carriacou, you ain't going to know. We're going to bring Isaiah up to Carriacou, so you'll get to see him. Yeah, we're going to bring Isaiah up to Carriacou. But Sassy, also, what's going on? Are you getting ready to get Lixon intercall again?
If you have intercall.
It's having intercall, man. Don't worry about that. God is good enough all the time. Not some of the time, all the time. It's going to have intercall. And we ain't saying come hello, high water. Come whatever, it is going to have intercall. Yeah?
So say what you want to say, and you all got to exit. Yeah. Daddy rule today. So see what you want to say, and then.
They take out the barbecue, don't like it, huh?
Who take out your barbecue?
LL. They say no fun.
So how
I like it there.
But how some people saying LL and some people saying Dr. Mitchell?
Well, they make them go on strike. I like it there. Man waiting 11 months and week to have barbecue, and they don't have a barbecue. I like it that.
That is not fair. That is not fair. That is not fair.
It's not fair, but it's part of it's part of things that you may not, as students, you may not understand, and so. But hey.
But you all having class party and so?
No.
Why?
I don't know. Ask them teachers and misters. They said they're not getting paid for that.
Yeah, but that's during the day. That's during class time. You will have all your class party on a Saturday evening.
They said they're not getting paid. They say unless the government don't put back their money, they're not having nothing. So
government don't put back the money.
Well, they know that they can't pay in the first place, so they're wrong.
Well,
you having class party, Isaiah?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, so your school, your teachers decide, yes, they're having class party, so you having class party tomorrow.
I want to say good morning to my sister and my brother named Antonia and Sheldon.
And Sheldon? You have Sheldon here?
No, you.
Not the Sheldon?
No,
and Antonia? Okay, all right, okay. Because Antonia is Javon's mommy. That's the last son.
And I didn't say good morning to mommy.
Good morning, mommy.
Mommy, listening?
Mommy, you'll give her there.
Yeah, I'll go here about all you.
Mommy, buy something from Tita.
Good morning, mommy. And I want to say good morning to Kaden and Siobhan.
Well, again, a message here from somebody in England. They're saying that how Isaiah is much better looking than his father. So, and the comment getting like up, and people liking the comment and thinking, Sonia, Carol, sell you out there, one. Carol, Sonia, all of them start to like up the comment, So just so you get left that one.
I want to make for them. I'm getting ready to run them out of the studio right now. So.
You can't run them. No, they're in studio. There's a time for family, Devon. So we're making sure that we have family around. We are running them in how to go in just now, yeah, but we are running them. No. But you guys, you spend some time home and so, but as a secondary school student, couldn't you, the students, decide, yes, we're having a class party anyway, and you all get together, different ones, everybody brings something, and you all do your thing on your own? You don't need a teacher to organize that for you.
Well, no, we don't need that. Well, yesterday we had a art thing where the Tivoli drummers came. Well, the teachers that had that, but to do was, you know, after they come back to school, after they come out and strike, half of the school will come back. So not to say we don't have anything.
No.
And if we start to have anything,
since school has reopened, you're still having students not going back to school as usual?
Yeah. A lot of students' average has dropped because of that. And for the past 2 weeks, teachers have been pushing us to limit for work a lot.
That's a bit unfair.
I know.
Because you all didn't do anybody anything, so why are you all being made to suffer the consequences?
Exactly.
Some other countries, you'd see students on the streets. But anyhow, yeah, you'd see trouble in some other countries, but we ain't encouraging that here. Yeah, we are a nice, peaceful place. Yeah, and we do hope that at the end, common sense prevails, and that sort of behavior ends. And Devon, yeah, study to mark what they're saying about you. Study to see what they're saying. Don't show in real talk for him on the live.
So Sonia, when you look at Isaiah, you see Caden and Siobhan. You know that same blood.
Well, here's what we're gonna say: a special good morning to these people at Paddy's Enterprise in Carriacou. Now they are listening. It's a hardware store in Carriacou. So if you're doing your Christmas shopping, Dolly C leaves on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. You have the Osprey every day. So you can head up to Carriacou and watch. Them people are some weed eater down there, cutting down forest with it, you know.
Yeah, well,
yeah, serious.
I want to invest in one of that.
I lie. And Paddy's Enterprise are some weed eater up there. Some weed whacker, weed eater. Yeah. That you could cut down a forest with. Yeah, them
Carl send me a photo of some of these things.
What you could cut sugar cane with them thing, and you're taking it and you're cutting sugar cane. Not grass, and you're cutting sugar cane is a grass, but you're cutting sugar cane with them thing. They tick. Plus anything you could possibly think about, you could find it up there. Yeah, so Paddy's Enterprise. So we're saying special good morning to the following. Is a list we just had to say it because I could get in trouble if I go Carriacou and I don't call out the list. So Serana, Richard, Carol, Corona, Doreen, Agnes, Dion, Sybil, Romella, Delroy, Teron, Andrew, Sherlin, and Winston. If I don't say it, I get in trouble when I step in.
Good morning to Carriacou and good morning to the special people at Paddy's Enterprise.
The staff over there at Sister Isle FM, not too far, but you have Lisa Marie, you have Mr. Fraser. Mr. Fraser, good morning to you. A special good morning to you, Mr. Fraser.
Morning to you, sir.
Yeah, and all the other staff, they're Jack.
Yeah.
And all the others, all the other DJs and whoever else, Linton and so on.
To our friends at the rental, always keep forgetting
Wayne's Garage.
Yeah, and
Mr. Wayne Bullen.
Yeah. And Shanti. Yeah, good morning to you. Yeah, right across the restaurant right there. You know, good morning.
Sasha. We calling Shanti?
The daughter.
Oh, Sasha's daughter. Yeah. All right, Sasha morning, right. Hey, and Jamdong man, Jamaican.
Yeah.
Chef.
The chef.
Chef morning.
Chef morning to you. Oh, that chef bad.
Yeah, boy.
No,
man, get some. You don't eat jerk chicken, right?
Eat
too
anything.
Much pepper?
Eat anything.
You eating that? With all that pepper, boy? You are your belly, boy. What? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite food? You like the most?
Yeah, what's your favorite food you like?
I know KFC is not a food, but I like KFC and macaroni and cheese.
KFC?
But hear what he says. He know KFC is not a food, but he likes KFC and macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, but
so he's conscious that it's not really a food.
But you like it.
But you like it, so you gotta
so that is the reason that I see Daddy going in KFC.
No.
I know he don't eat that. So if I see Daddy inside this, because he go and get it for you. Okay. I could understand now.
I twist. You love I twist.
All right. So it's now 41 minutes after the 10 o'clock. Like somebody trying to call while the children are here. So let's see what they have to say.
Before they exit. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, Sheldon Scott.
Carriacou in the house.
Yes, sir. All the time. How you doing?
We good, man.
We good.
Well, city song now. Sister Isles getting it. We're getting it right city songs, you know.
Sister Isles is not on?
I said we're getting it right city songs. We can't. Sister Isles bringing it.
Well, we had a double check on that.
We will.
Yeah, I don't know why is everything.
We will remedy that.
I feel that is because
my
Sister
daughter called Linton, I know what's going on.
Okay, brother.
All right, my brother.
Alright,
One love.
Nice. But we know the staff at listening because
Yeah,
once
yeah.
you see Carol, because they're listening it
Yeah.
online. So I have a feeling that Sister Isle is trying to bring a True City song. I feel that's what's going on and they're having a little problem with that. So somebody go sign in just now and do what has to be done to done what has to be doing.
All right, so so you guys, it's time to exit. Time to take your exit.
Final words.
Final words, Isaiah.
For today.
What you want to say to the people out there? You want to wish them whatever and tell everybody bye, and you'll see them again.
Bye. I will see you next day, and may you have a good Christmas.
And you?
Oh, I may barbecue.
She crying for
You're bending on that barbecue here.
Sal's barbecue.
Devon, I think as parents and so, gotta take over and do what had to be done. The teachers within their rights, the teachers can decide that, and nobody's saying that the teachers are not within their rights. They're within their rights to withhold their labor. The parents within their rights to step in and take over the whole thing. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to be better when the parents
Play a
take
more active
over
role.
and do these things. So I think as parents, we have to step in.
And then not just play an active role in the activities, but also parents will have the opportunity to keep a closer eye on the children and so in these activities.
Yeah.
You kill two birds with one stone.
But before both of you leave the studio, I must say this, it's not easy for a 8-year-old, and you're how old?
14.
For an 8-year-old or a 14-year-old to come into a radio studio and to talk on radio to thousands upon thousands of people. It means that you're brave. You're well brave. And I love that. Yeah? I know your father is an extremely brave man. I know he's like a superhero. He's like one of the Marvel superheroes. When he started to get stories and things, they are not false stories, they're true stories. So the apple ain't fall far from the tree. You all are very brave, and I love to see that. Yeah, I really, really love to see that. All right, Isaiah, and you know, I just always forget your name. I just always say Sass girl.
Sass girl. Anissa
and Isaiah. All right. So folks, we're going to take a short break while the children head over to the other side, and we'll be right back. Yeah, in fact, we'll get a piece of steel pan. Yeah, we'll get a piece of steel pan.
Up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Yes, folks, so we're back. Yeah, boy, but we leave them children and them in the studio for the rest of the day. Yeah. I didn't mind it. Serious, Devon, I didn't mind it. Yeah, Mr. Benji, you bring us back? Oh, we did. We didn't go nowhere. We was there. All right, okay, nice. Yeah. So, yes, indeed, folks, it is Hard Talk. The phone number 4407377. Mr. Technical Man, will check on the sister situation for us.
And 347-329-3101.
Yeah, I want that sister Island tell me nothing. If they follow a message and tell me no what going on. Lisa Marie, what kind of thing is that, girl? Yeah, you should message and tell me, man. Hey, what going on? Right, yeah. So 4407377. And plus, folks, remember we're live online. So you can get us on YouTube. You could get us on Facebook. Hard Talk Grenada Live on Facebook. And Hard Talk Grenada on YouTube. You can get us on both of them. Yeah? Devon, considering where you just said, I ain't feel you'll get back your son. You know? Knowing them across the, I ain't feel you're getting back, guys. Serious? You'll be going home alone.
Man, Isaiah, if I give you a little joke about Isaiah, a couple of days ago, I went to the shop myself and Isaiah. When he reached there was a gentleman, right, with his girlfriend sitting there, you know, having a little drink. And from the time we enter the shop, Isaiah stared onto that lady and would not take off his eyes off of the lady. But the gentleman saw him, so he called him. He said, come here. He said, what's your name? He said, Isaiah. He said, you like her? Why you keep staring at her? So he turned around and he tell her, you like her? I mean, he's not shy when it comes to women singing and dancing. I mean, one he took from his father, the others I don't know.
I can't define that conversation. Folks,
let's leave that alone.
It's 10 minutes to the hour of 11 o'clock.
Wow.
Devon, a bit of history. Remember today, the world was supposed to end today a few years ago.
Yes, the day.
Yeah, it was supposed to end on the 12th of the 12th of the 12th. So in the year 2012, the year was supposed to end on, the earth was supposed to end
12th month, 12th day of 12th month.
2012. Yeah, wow. The world was supposed to end.
You remember in 2000, the world was supposed to end also too, eh?
Yeah.
Now when going into the
December 31st, yeah.
Yes,
supposed
December
to
31st.
The whole place was supposed to go crazy with what do you call it again? The bug, what do you call it? The Millennium Bug?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Millennium Bug was supposed to make every computer in the world fail, and planes were supposed to be falling out of the skies and cars running off the road. Nuclear submarines were supposed to just let go the missiles
all over the place and everything.
All kind of
But very interesting.
When Papa God ready for your place, he go take it. No man ain't come in and say that is when Papa God taking your place. Yeah.
Sheldon, very interesting though. Sometimes we pay attention to international news and so, but very interestingly, you paying attention to what is going on with the United States president and those surrounding him, and so.
I'm not paying too much attention because the people who surround him doesn't surround him for long. No, let me be straight. Listen, usually I just avoid the talk.
Yes.
Let me go into the talk today. No, I'm looking at it and I'm listening because you just hear this one is Attorney General, then you hear and they resign today. Or this person will be leaving next week. Yes. Or this person, I mean, it's just like a rotation. It's just like one after the other. It's becoming a bit comical now.
Very much so. And it's concerning a lot of like politicians, senators and so who are beginning to voice their concern as to the way in which the politics, right, within the for example in Congress and so is thing. The United States presidency and so. The office of the president is being, in their words, being diminished by the whole lot at this point in time. And then again, if you notice, so many investigations. I mean, I've been checking. You have 18 persons who have been wrong. 18 or 16 persons who have been wrong. The present president either lied for him or about certain things, and almost all of them have been indicted. Imagine that. I mean, it's amazing. But hey,
it's when you say it's amazing, it's really amazing. But even the one thing I have to say though, I still remember President Trump as the one that stopped Grenadians having to go Barbados to renew your visa.
kudos to you, President
Yeah,
Trump.
when you do good, you say you do good. You do good on that one.
Yeah, under his administration, it happened.
Yeah.
Perhaps he would not have been instituted, but it was just implemented during his time.
But let me say something now. Knowing the situation, he could have stopped it.
Oh yeah, he could have stopped it and say, "Man, look, I don't have time."
So it happened under him, so we could say thanks.
So of course, we have to say thanks.
Because it means, therefore, that if your visa expired less than a year and 2 months ago, that you no longer have to go to Barbados to reapply. That you can apply online right here, and you send your thing by courier over to Barbados and get it back. First time applicants, you still have to go over to Barbados because they must take your biometric information. In other words, they must scan your eyeball and take your fingerprint and so. So they must do that. So you must go to Barbados still. And those whose visas expired like years ago, over a year and 2 months ago, you still must go to Barbados. And those of you who were not born in Grenada but carry Grenadian passports, you still have to go to Barbados as well. This is only for born Grenadians. Yeah? This is only for people who birth certificate say they were born on the island of Grenada. Mine say I was born in Trinidad. I still have to go Barbados. I ain't get away, boy. What?
And you are Trini, man. Just say that.
Trin Grenadian.
All right. Trin Grenadian. Yeah.
Bar Vincent's Gren Trinidadian. Caribbean man. I mix up.
Good morning to all the students of the nation. Whether you at school at this present time or you at home. All right. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, eh?
Yes, sir.
Hey, boss. Good morning.
Well, I get you with them, ask them what they ask the fella, why they bring attack, he say, you know. I tell him, let me talk to Linton, he tell me Linton all day. I say, well, all right. I'll just tell her, well, you ain't look like, well, since I might bring it today.
All right. Well, we go find out what's going on. No problem.
All right. We're working on that. All right, my boss. You take good care.
All right. Yeah. So we get an update day. Yeah. Right? We go find Linton.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Yeah. So right now, as it is, born Grenadians whose visas have expired about a year ago, they can stay here and apply and that sort of thing, right? Yeah. Nice. But that's only if you already had a visa and if you're applying for that same visa. If you had one class of visa and you're applying for another one, you have to go to Barbados. If you're applying for the same class visa that you had, you can do that. And that's a good development because a lot of people don't realize all what they'll be saying about Grenada this and Grenada that. Grenada is one of the only countries got it. Not all the Caribbean countries got it. St. Vincent didn't get it.
Nope.
Vincentian still have to go over. I don't think Dominica got it either. Neither St. Kitts. Was it St. Kitts that didn't get it?
St. Kitts.
Was Antigua. St. Kitts got it.
So it's Grenada and St. Kitts and St. Lucia?
Yeah, I think, got it.
2 or 3
Grenada, St. Kitts and Lucia got it. Antigua Barbuda didn't get it. Because I remember the Prime Minister there being pretty upset that Grenada got it and they didn't get it. Dominica, I don't think got it either.
Got it yet.
So there was a bit of upsettedness.
But hey, you know what? Over the last couple of years, we have been doing what needs to be done. So when things like that come up, we are positioning ourselves to take advantage of the situation, and that's an administration with vision.
Yeah,
you know. So,
but definitely when you also look on the international scene, we're talking about the international today. All the time we had to be talking.
Chime in, Depot.
Yeah. When you look at what's going on in England right now.
Yeah, Theresa May is on.
Yeah, facing a motion and no confidence. The Prime Minister of England is facing a motion and no confidence right now, and one that seems from all indications by various media outlets as likely to succeed.
But the problem is that her replacement, I don't think that her party has basically identified somebody who can, take them.
They've got a few. They're looking at Amber Rudd, the same woman who is responsible for the Windrush scandal, where they were just picking up people and blocking people from coming back into England and so. And she's running the likelihood of becoming one of the candidates of becoming the Prime Minister.
What about David Cameron? Has he decided?
In fact, David Cameron tried to re-enter British politics recently as the foreign minister that Boris
Boris Johnson
had moved him. I keep going to say Boris Yeltsin. You
no,
can see how old I is. Yeah, anytime you see us, for me to know the name Boris Yeltsin,
you remember in the 90s.
You have to know that I'm real old.
91, 92.
Yeah. So Boris Johnson is a front runner as well.
Okay.
But there are several MPs on the Conservative side that have said that if Boris Johnson becomes the leader of the party, they will resign. They have said it outright. They will resign. He's very popular. I can tell you he's very popular.
Very outspoken too.
Within the Conservative Party in the UK. He's very conservative he's very popular within the UK in general. He runs a good chance, but there are about 4 or 5 contenders there. For 2 females at least, and about 4 males. Yeah, about that. 4 contenders, the Prime Minister. But that doesn't mean that the Prime Minister is gone. She could still pull it off.
Oh, no, she's not giving up. She's a fighter. I don't know if she have that energy as Margaret Thatcher, right? And that vigor and fight in her, but she's fighting. Definitely fighting. And so. But again, to just on another side of Europe, you find that Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, is about to exit. She has shown her intention.
She's
to exit.
Extremely popular in Germany.
Extremely
if she
popular.
run again, she was winning again.
Yeah. So she has signaled that, okay, she wants to stay on for the next 3 years to run out her tenureship. But
for some reason, she likes Dr. Mitchell.
Yeah,
she likes the Grenadian Prime Minister.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy, so I mean, definitely.
No, I mean like in that sense. Oh gosh, yourself. But she has a lot of respect for the Grenadian Prime Minister. Yeah, and the German, the CDU, the CDU, and what's the name of the other party there? There's a Bavarian party as well. They have a lot of respect for Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell of Grenada,
and notable
and for
too.
Grenada as well. Huh?
Notable too, her replacement would also be a woman. The woman has won the runoff, and
they find a woman handle the scenes proper in Germany, so they're looking to continue.
She has done an excellent job. We always say that all women qualified, right, or even not women in the house, always make good economists, good finance ministers, and everything like. They know how to balance budget.
Never see somebody able to stretch out $50 more than a Grenadian mother.
But especially the Grenadian. That's why very soon we will have a finance minister. That's a woman in Grenada.
The PS is a female already.
Okay.
The PS, Miss Ophelia Wells Cornwall.
Okay.
Yeah, we already have a female there, you know, man.
I mean, a woman that has the know-how. Women know how to squeeze their money too much.
Maybe that's why the unions feel. You have Dr. Mitchell, the finance minister here, etc. And then you have a female as the
PS. Yeah, because she would definitely.
Very unfortunate though what the Labour senator said about the staff there. It reminds me of an idiotic statement that was made. And Andre, I ain't saying that you make an idiotic statement. It's an unfortunate statement. But an idiotic one that was made by the former leader of the National Democratic Congress when he said that you can't trust figures coming out of the Ministry of Finance. And Senator Lewis, I don't know if you were listening to that recording or what was taking place. I don't know if there are certain people instigating in the background within the Labour movement. Well, let me just say I don't know. They are, right? But to make a statement like that about the Ministry of Finance, I don't think you really understood what you were talking about when you were saying that. You could in no way have understood what you're talking about and make a statement like that. Because the Ministry of Finance, you have people who they have to interact with from the World Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, the International Monetary Fund, agencies such as those out of the European Union, the United Nations, with UNESCO and so on. And so they have all these agencies that they have to send reports to. And there are things that are contingent on them sending these reports to them and being truthful, because these people don't just take your word for it. They have other means of gathering information. And hence the reason that sometimes when you have a visit here, they don't just speak to government. They also speak to the opposition, whether official or unofficial. They speak to the opposition. They speak to the business sector.
Yeah, private sector.
Yeah, so they don't just take information, government hand them information. So for you to go and make a statement like that is very unfortunate, especially when I know on a Saturdays, sometime I might be hanging out somewhere on a Saturday, somewhere around 11, 12 in the night, and you're by somewhere getting something to eat or so, and you see someone from the Ministry of Finance pass there and they're getting something to eat. And they say, I'm just grabbing something to go back to the office on a Saturday when everybody is liming. That they are there crunching numbers to go back to the Ministry of Finance again to complete the budget and so on for the country within a timely space. That you are seeing these people going above and beyond. The Grenada budget unit, and I heard it on, I can't remember the forum I was at an international forum, and they were saying that the Grenada budget unit is one of the smallest that they have anywhere. It's a very small unit.
Very efficient.
But they are very efficient and they work very hard.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
That is why, I mean, economically,
other countries looking to cut the budget unit now to reach the size of Grenada, not to ask Grenada to increase theirs, but they're looking to cut because they're saying if Grenada is able to achieve all this with a budget unit that size,
efficiency.
Yeah, you're not talking about 20-something people, and it's under 10.
Professionalism, the right team. You see, when you have a team that will just mesh, nothing is impossible. You see, and Dr. Mitchell has proven that with the team he has with him in the Ministry of Finance. Excellent workers, public sector workers, and they must be complemented, at all costs.
James is asking a question there. I don't know if Naz, you could help us with that. He wants to know if Starfish, or what we knew as Rex Grenadian, is closing in April for refurbishment. I think it is.
Yeah, it is. It is closing sometime in the first half of next year.
Yeah.
For refurbishment, right?
And not just refurbishment, but expansion. More importantly, expansion. So, the rooms, there have been complaints about the state of the rooms. All of a sudden, the people that were jumping up that government wicked, that government trying to take over Rex Grenadian and government this and government that, all of them suddenly fall silent. Yeah? Because now they're seeing what the government was saying, that the time has come for the Rex Grenadian, what the property itself, to move forward. You had places like Spice Isle Beach Resort and Calabash and them ranking internationally, winning all kind of awards and that sort of thing. You come with Silver Sands and already the buzz in the international market is so high. Like we have to find more space down at the airport because I hear private plane coming in for private planes coming in one after the other, and look for the schedule for what you're going to be seeing over the next few weeks and so up to the new year for the private planes and also for the yachts down at Port Louis.
Port Louis and so.
Yeah.
I'm seeing
up to last night I saw the salt fuel truck going there. You know how much money that is that came into the economy by a yacht that came there and had to be refueled, and the salt truck going down there to refuel and that sort of thing. That's money into the economy. You're saying?
No, I was just saying I seen Depot who always on the ball, right? Sending a poster that Grenada knocked out Bahamas as the choice destination of the Caribbean.
Yeah, we've had ranked by the Caribbean Tourist Agency. We've had the number one destination, the number one CEO of our tourism authority, Ms. Patricia Mia, and also one of the number one properties and restaurants and so on. We ranked high in all those things.
Yep.
We've been ranking high, and a lot of people have not been talking, but Grenada, when it comes to tourism, Grenada is ranking high.
And we move about 20 notches in the space of a couple of months, in terms of the rankings and so on. That's good. That's good for us. I mean, the room stock, right, is increasing. The quality, has increased, and you see much more coming. I mean, the destination itself, it speaks for itself. It sells its own, right? So we right there.
Yeah, and I think that somebody, the poets talk Grenada knocked out sweetness, sea, and security. Yeah. Because it's not just before we used to say we're selling sun, sea, and sand. It's way past sun, sea, and sand now. Other places have sun, sea, and sand, but they don't have the security. So each time we see a police officer, in the United States, when they see one of the military people, they always say thank you for your service. Sometimes we have to tell our police officers that too. Thank you for your service, because they've been doing a wonderful job in helping keep Grenada nice and peaceful. And we have to tell our community people, us, there's always a little importance in being a little bit macocious. Because we ain't seeing thing and don't talk. There's something I picked up on and I pass the information on.
Not a little bit macocious. We have to maco.
Yeah.
That's a lot. We have to, there are times we maco in for our own good.
Mm-hmm.
Understand?
Let's say somebody, this is not, to those of you who are non-Grenadians and are listening, this is not something that typically happens. I'm just using a scenario here. Let's just say a body was found and the police come and they start to ask questions and so. Could bet you it have at least 3 to 4 people in the village who go know who passed there, when they passed there, what they was wearing, if they had a dog with them, if they had the cutlass in the left or right hand when they was heading down to the ravine.
If they're sweaty.
Yeah, they was able to tell you everything.
Every description. And that's what make us unique, eh? The cooperation between the community and the law enforcement.
It's very important.
Yeah, very, very important and has been always so, eh?
And you could tell Carriacou is one of the most peaceful places within our peaceful place. Petit Martinique more peaceful, but one of the most peaceful places within our peaceful place is Carriacou. And it is no surprise, therefore, that Carriacou's police station has also won the prize for community policing. The way that they interact and keep in contact with the community.
Very important.
So nothing happening just so and they ain't gonna know it happening and thing. They're getting help from the community. And that's a Carriacou thing too, so don't get too tough.
And one of the things too that, well, during the revolution, that was one of the things that was basically instilled. A lot of people look at it at different ways. But you see the militia, what we used to call the militia, was a particular group or unit of persons that had military training, but also were civilians, right? So they were used to gather information from within the communities, and so, and that was good, right? The crime rate was down. You know, as soldiers, we used to know any information we want to know about anybody within the community. Crime. I mean, you didn't have that. You had some minor incidents and so.
Somebody tried to call us. Let's see what they want to say.
Good morning.
Sheldon. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, my friend. Not too bad.
I do something you're also speaking about concerning America, all right? Where them 44 ex-senators, when they wrote to the President Senate, and one of the things they were saying to them, because you know you have the Republican control the Senate and coming to in the next year we have the Democrat will control the House, and they were saying to the senators, let's put aside politics, right, and put country first, right, put the country first. And when you look at that later, this is something we Grenadians should do. Let us put aside politics and let us look at the interest and the benefit of our country, right. And that is something that we should take, and we should do. If we say we love Grenada, we have to put aside our politics and work together for the good and development of our country. Okay? And even I was listening to a radio program yesterday, I won't call it radio station, where the announcer was saying that people calling hard that you're criticizing and lambasting the teachers, but nobody say the teachers. Who call it that we are not lambasting teachers? And what we are saying, like, you know, sometimes we have to be reasonable, right? We be reasonable and care and love for one another, because we cannot look at one and forget the rest. So I always ask the teacher to be more lenient, right, and be more reasonable.
Hello, my brother.
Hello.
Before you go any further, let me clear up on our part here. They lie. Nobody ain't call no hard talk and lambaste no teachers because one. Devon would not allow it.
Exactly.
Before they get far, Devon would have stopped them. Or
I have a daughter as a teacher.
Yeah.
I would have stopped them. In fact, Devon did mention that he have a daughter as a teacher. In fact,
yeah.
We have been saying, and the thing is, because we're not lying, anyone can go online now and check all the programs we've done for the year. Every single program we've done for the year is online on YouTube and on Facebook. And they can go there. And I would like them to find one instance where we you know, the only time I would have lambasted teachers when they went to this classroom and telling the students that Keith Mitchell wicked. And nothing is wrong with that.
I don't ever say that.
But we have been the people saying that, look,
saying it all the time.
The teachers deserve
the
25% or even more. But the issue is not that. The issue is if the country is
and
able to pay.
And you're even saying the teacher deserve more.
Yeah.
Right? So nobody would criticize him, call her criticizing.
But the mere fact they could say that is because they're desperate.
They have to be more reasonable.
They're desperate. The hypocritical desperate. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
All right. So when I heard that say no, I said, well, not attack because I call it attack and we never call and criticize teachers. I'll be asking for them to be reasonable. And based on it at the time now, the government is not able to give it to them, be more lenient, be more reasonable, and see, take what they could get until the government could get something more. We never criticize, we're criticizing and abusing teachers. When I heard that, I say, where you get that from? All right? So Brother Devon, you all have a good day.
All right, my friend, you take good care. Hey, good morning again to all our viewers, our listeners overseas, wherever you are. Cold Toronto, freezing Brooklyn. Well, we'll talk about London, icy London. Chris, I know how it feels, eh? It feels out there. Come to Grenada, man. You know, we have, look at the hotel stock has been improving over the last 3-4 years. Any sort of reservation you want, you can get it in Grenada. All right? We are the number one.
You want me to read something for you?
Yes, definitely.
From the Rob report, huh?
Yep.
I see Depot keeps saying, post it. Now go post it in a while. Yeah. It says, seasoned sailors know the island of Grenada well. Set on the southern end of the Caribbean cluster, just northeast of Venezuela, the well-positioned island has long held an allure for yacht owners.
An allure?
Yeah, an allure for yacht owners. Despite, or perhaps because of, its lack of upscale options on land. As of this month, however, there's finally a reason to disembark and maybe even set down roots. Silver Sands, Grenada, the island's first true luxury resort, opened December 1st with 43 suites on the edge of Grand Anse Beach. The creation of Egyptian billionaire Naguib Sarouk, I really could never pronounce this gentleman's name. But anyway, I know who we're talking about, who makes his own regular pilgrimages to the island via super yacht Yala. The property is sleek and sexy with just the right amount of excess, including a palm tree-lined swimming pool as long as a football field, a beach club, and a rumba with a stash of rare Cubans. When you say a stash of rare Cubans, you mean Cuban people, you mean cigars. Next thing, let's say it's a Cuban thing, people trafficking day, right? What makes it a true billionaire's oasis, though, are its 9 residences. Price, $5.7 million to $11 million, each with multiple private swimming pools and ample space for entertaining.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're saying that, they're telling the billionaires, because this is a site that basically speaks to high-end living and so on. Yeah. So they're basically saying to those people who, not just are the millions, the people with the billions, Grenada is a place to go. Go and lime in Grenada.
Make your home, your second home.
Make a look at hangout on Grand Anse Beach.
Oh, yes. Fly in and spend a weekend. You have your entire resort, there waiting for you.
Go by Musavi shop and drink a stag.
Yeah, go by Musavi shop. Just walk out and just drink a stag right there. A green one. Let's ask for the green one.
Go by Musavi shop and drink a stag.
Yeah.
You want to go and stay in the high end, right? You know, you have to come out and mix it in the natives. Go
exactly.
Musavi shop and drink a stag. Yeah, man. Yeah, so Devon, this is good news. This is really good news for Grenada. And in all we're saying, they are keep seeing a post a little earlier up from when Isaiah was here. And Roses was saying, listen, she had to go get your laptop, tablet, and put it on because she wanted to see Isaiah. She hearing that voice for years, but she wanted to finally see the face.
She finally see.
Good. Whoops, wrong one. This one.
Good morning.
Yes, gentlemen. Good morning to you all.
Hey, good morning and happy holidays, man.
I'm glad to know that again Grenada got recognized as a good destination. Maybe the best destination for, I don't know if it's 2018, 2019. I don't know how this thing works. But here what my thing is. Even though I am in the first best state of the U.S., which is Hawaii, we have a lot of good beaches home that is better than Grand Anse Beach. I think the Ministry of Tourism should look into surfing. A lot of people come over here in Hawaii to surf. We have a lot of surf sites in Grenada, but we do not utilize it. I think that we should look into that. Stop promoting only Grand Anse Beach as if Grand Anse Beach is Grenada. Grand Anse Beach is nice, we love Grandlands Beach, but we have a lot of places around the country that we can introduce surf into Grenada as a sport / fun that the people can come and they can have something additional to do. You can't surf on Grandlands Beach. I don't know if you all understand what I'm talking about, but I think you all should understand that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, see, surfing looks for a particular something, eh? It looks for a particular, number one, a particular type of beach and a particular type of wave. If you're talking of surfing, I'm really, in my mind, I'm really trying to figure out where in Grenada has that.
Only on the eastern side.
On the eastern side,
okay,
some areas, but then you run into rocks in
we
a
have
lot of
places
them.
like La Porche, we have places like Pulse, we have these places with good waves that you can surf.
But rocks.
And we.
There are rocks in those areas, brothers. There are rocks in those areas. And you can't really surf through the rocks, because then you will get shredded. But I understand where you're coming from. Look for alternative venues as well. Don't try to put everything in one area. Open more the place more. Hello?
Yeah, open the place more, because everybody would talk about Grandlands Beach, and I know personally that we have more beautiful places. Except putting Grandlands Beach one side, we have a lot of beautiful places, a lot of beautiful beaches, even nice cozy beaches around the island. I think we should also, the Ministry of Tourism should also promote these places. Yes, you come to Grandlands Beach, but let's go out, because Grenada is a tri-state island. Let's go out, let's find stuff to do. That's what I think we should do. But still, congratulations that Grenada get big up again. I mean, I feel proud. Even though they're here in Hawaii, I still feel proud. I'm a Greensman all the way,
Yeah, because we're just beautiful, man. But I find like you moved to Hawaii.
Yeah, I find you don't coming out of Hawaii at all.
I find you going back Florida.
I got to talk to mom and unless she pull you out of Hawaii, I find you staying there, you want to come out.
No, well, the thing
is it luau we like?
Good, and the thing is, I don't need a permit to fish. You can fish 12 months a year right here.
That is what have you there.
You can, but you see, on the mainland, you need permit to fish.
Yeah.
You see, in Grenada, you don't need permit to fish.
Yes, you need certain places.
But here,
to go on the pier and them kind of things in the pool.
Have you been to a luau?
No, not yet.
You haven't been to one? I heard that and you'll find out this one, so next time you call, you'll let us know. I've heard, and I've actually seen video of it as well, of Hawaiians eating ripe breadfruit, raw ripe breadfruit. You will let me know about that one.
I haven't seen that yet. I mean, I've seen breadfruit tree, but the breadfruit young, so maybe that's why I didn't see it.
Yeah, find out about it. I've seen some video of it. I've heard of it, and I've seen video of it on actually a food documentary with Hawaiians where they were eating, they got the breadfruit ripe, and ripe until the point, like where it does fall off the tree here and it gets sticky. They were actually eating it and raw, not cook or anything, not to say they pass it in hot water, eat it raw. Find out about that and let us know.
Yeah, give us some information about that.
We ain't saying try it, find out about it.
I would definitely find out about that. I know that they traditionally, they bake pork, they cook pork under the ground. It stays for 8 hours, man. I tell you, that's the best pork. Oh, by the way, pigs are free here. Pigs and chickens are free. I don't want chicken. Pig, you can shoot a pig any time in the year. You feel bunks a pig, you can pick it up, bring it at your home. That's no problem. So
stop advertising.
When it comes to hunting it, you're free here.
Stop advertising pork.
Bye, Leslie.
Start advertising pork on the radio station.
Bye-bye, Leslie. Bye-bye.
No, that does not mean that you have to big up Grenada too. I have to big up Grenada.
Bye-bye, Leslie.
But just don't jealous.
Okay, bro.
Have a good day, guys.
The man talking about baking pork underneath the ground and thing,
Tourist, the man come talking about pork, and I started to get kind of hungry and things.
I saw something on Facebook.
Leslie,
right? I saw something on Facebook. The reason why what something? Oh, you call it the cartoon character something pig. that was supposed to
Porky
come.
Pig?
Porky Pig didn't come
Oh,
to
Peppa
Grenada.
Pig.
Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
The reason why Peppa Pig didn't come to Grenada, and they show a big ham with some big slices. That is Grenadian
You
style.
expect Peppa to come around now?
Peppa ain't coming around Grenada at all. You have so many here in Grenada. From the time you say ha, you not say ham, you know. From the time you say ha, you gone, you know.
Oh, as you mentioned that, though, there's an important discussion that we need to have, and we are going to attempt to get either the Minister of Agriculture or so in to have that discussion. It's Christmas time, and a lot of folks tend to butcher the animals in the village and sell the meat. You're not really supposed to do that right now.
No, we have facilities for that.
Yeah. Once you have to butcher, it is supposed to go to Maribo. You didn't know Maribo operating? Yeah, the abattoir in Maribo is up and running. It's operating. And as such, people are not supposed to. I was listening to Andre the other day, and I was hearing a story of one instance where some individuals butcher a particular animal and found the animal had tumors in it. And they still went ahead and sell it.
Oh my God.
They still chop it up and they went ahead and they sell it. The animal, once you kill an animal and you open it out and you see the animal has tumors, you are supposed to destroy that meat. You're not supposed to sell it.
And who best
You're
to know
supposed
about
to
that
destroy it.
is the people in the Ministry of Agriculture and the abattoir.
Which is why they are asking folks to contact the abattoir so that they can get the animals up there. And we're talking about whether it's sheep, goat, whatever, you're supposed to get it up there. And it's supposed to be, I'm not too sure about poultry. I don't think poultry is under that.
No, not
but the larger
poultry.
animals like the cows,
sheep, goat, pigs, and so.
They are supposed to.
Not donkeys and so,
No, we know about that one.
We know
we
about
eating
that
that
one.
meat.
Not in Grenada.
Well, draw the line certain places. We eating that.
Well, I know some men eat horse and thing in Grenada already.
Back in the days, yeah.
Yeah, back in the days. They say hot meat's nice.
When I was a child and I was in Trinidad, not straying from the topic too much, but in Trinidad, I lived in Marabella. And you know that's where Union Park Race Club was. So what would happen is sometimes during the race a horse would fall. And by the time the horse hit the ground, all you used to see is some cutlass. Fella's gone for that meat one time.
Horse meat.
The foot breaking and the horse is usually you had to put it down.
Yeah, you must.
Yeah, I see some fellas. Yeah. But folks, because you'll be seeing it, it always happens. It's a traditional something. To a lot of us, it's a traditional. To me, it's a traditional something. But that's why we're saying we have to get the Minister of Health and probably who is in charge of the abattoir and one or two other persons who can explain properly. It needs to be done now because I'm already hearing some people are planning to kill weekend. Yeah, and these are people that are going to be killing in the village and in their communities and so on.
This weekend, next weekend, a lot of killing.
We don't want people find themselves in problems because, as they say, what do they say about the law?
Ignorance of the law
is no excuse. Because they have the abattoir.
And the
again,
abattoir contact
for you, the person who is buying, it's also important for you to know. Because you don't want to end up in a situation that you buy some meat that end up getting you sick. And it has happened in the past. As I said, I was listening to a radio program on Sunday. KB and Andre. And they were speaking of, KB was speaking of a situation where some individuals brought an animal, they killed the animal had tumors, and therefore it had to be disposed. And the individuals who brought it said, a pig, they said, listen, we have to show the owner. We have to bring the carcass and show the owner. And bring our carcass and show owner. They take that and they went and they sell it. They cut it up. Tumor or no tumor, they cut it up and they sell it. You're not supposed to do that. So we have to be careful. We have to know.
Very, very careful.
I know good butchers. I know people who I can trust if I have to get some beef or I have to get something. I know who I could trust and go to. But there are some unscrupulous guys out there too that just basically do anything. Yeah, they find what I spend how long growing this animal and you don't tell me a 2 tumor will stop me from sharing selling that, and they just go ahead. So we have to be careful.
So we are appealing to all the animal owners who have the intention of killing, slaughtering for the holiday. Contact the Ministry of Agriculture, the abattoir, right, and make arrangement for your animal to be properly slaughtered and inspected, and then it's safe for the consumers, right? Very important. You don't want to lose, your
the
consumers.
meat has to be stamped.
Yeah, it has to be.
You see, once it's killed at the abattoir, they stamp it.
Certify that's good.
Yeah, so that is safe for human consumption, and then it can be sold.
And you know, before, when you used to have the village slaughtering and so on a regular basis, you used to have persons from the Ministry of Health or Agriculture going around on a Friday night and so in the different abattoirs, right? Inspecting the meat and then stamping it. But now, because, you know, system change, now we have state-of-the-art abattoir where everything can be done in one place and possibly transported to your area using the refrigeration trucks and so that is available.
I think they need more than one refrigeration.
Yeah,
they need one or two more.
They need about 2 or 3 more.
Need to get one or two more.
Small ones. Not big ones as one they have.
Yeah, the
some
big one could be used
for St. George's.
To transport like that, but you need some smaller ones as well to be able to make some shorter.
Like the St. John's, St. Mark's, and St. Patrick's.
Those of you, this one is specifically to those of you that butcher. It might be wise of you because as I'm saying, I don't want it to end up being a situation that you go through all that and then you end up with your meat confiscated. That's not an easy thing for any. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, and it's not an easy thing for anybody to face because you may have your school fees that you plan to pay off with that, or pay back the money to whoever you had borrowed it from for the CXC exams that you borrow money from to pay for your child's, and you decided to make back the money now and pay back. And we don't want you to end up in that situation. So clarify, make sure. And so if I'm living in Grandance and I want to have my animals slaughter, I have to find my way all up St. Andrew to do that. Actually, you do.
You do. Or you contact the Ministry of Agriculture. Perhaps you never know. Some arrangement, might be in place, in different areas.
That's
information.
And we're saying a lot of these things without the proper knowledge on it, which we never like to do. And that's why we're saying we need to contact the ministry and find out.
And get some
in
more
fact, let's see if we can have them by tomorrow or Friday. We'll see if we can,
exactly.
even if it's on the phone, so that we know what is the procedure.
Yes.
I wouldn't go and put the minister on thing and call the minister now and go and call
there
now.
are officers who are specifically responsible for these areas. We can find them and possibly a phone call could clear up a lot of these issues and so and give good advice.
But folks, just remember that is the situation when it obtains to that. And for those of you that might still go out and you find, okay, all places are a little isolated, we could kill something and thing. If you see the thing had tumors and thing in it, and the meat doesn't look, please don't sell it for people.
And then
don't sell it for people.
And then those of us who have that continue having that practice, we are not professionals or medical practitioners to detect some of the signs, right? And so when an animal is not fit for consumption, right? So we got to leave it to the professionals. So please adhere to the things that have been put in place, right? So our health, right, can be secured. Remember, our health is our wealth, and we know around this time everybody wants a piece of beef or a piece of pork or that kind of thing, but you have to be careful.
Yeah, unless it's a Rasta man, we do.
I don't have to worry about that. Right? I don't
but
have to worry
for those,
about that.
those
but
who
for those
do,
of you,
we say that. As we said, we're going to get the proper information so that you're all going to find out more about that. We don't want people to end up in an embarrassing situation, right? Nice. 440-7377 and
347-329-3101.
30 minutes after the 11 o'clock hour, 30 minutes remaining on the program for today. Yes, we'll be soon wrapping up for the year 2018, a very eventful year. As we said, several achievements during this year, politically and otherwise, for the new National Party. You've been seeing the new National Party stepping forward as an organized political party machinery.
Much more organized.
And, in fact, we could actually tell you right now when is the new National Party convention for 2019,
Of course.
We could tell you when is the General Council for 2019. I could give you the date right now, but I'm not authorized to do so. But we could actually tell you those things. We are organized and so.
And as an organization, we keep on growing and growing and growing, right? Getting people to understand the importance of the organization, what it can do and will continue to do for the Grenadian people, you know. So, hey, it's a lot that has been achieved, right? A lot more will be done and can be done.
And you know,
right?
the thing is, I keep saying some of us, we had to get rid of that slave mentality. And I say that all the time. And anybody that knows me, they might even chisel it on, well, I wouldn't have a tombstone, but they might chisel it with the putting up the memorial for me when I'm gone. That we, as Grenadians, have to get that slave mentality out of us. We have to get rid of that slave mentality. That attitude where when we see someone achieve, we upset.
Yeah, we upset.
We vex. You see the neighbor child doing good,
we vex.
You're vexed. You're finding any excuse to cuss the neighbor, and if you get a chance to cuss the child too.
You're doing it too.
We have to get rid of that sort of slave mentality. That mentality that goes back to the plantation, where we say and do things so massa whip somebody else, so he too tired to whip us. So if you know that you do something wrong and massa might find out, you run and you tell massa, I see Devon thief somebody cow milk, and massa come and he whip Devon. And by the time he finish whip Devon, too tired to whip you, and he might even find out what you do. Exactly. Yeah? That is how some of us operating until some of us want to go in houses of iniquity. Well, not some of us, some of them.
A lot of them.
Let me stop us with that one. Yeah. Some of them want
them.
to go into houses of iniquity, whether I believe it or not. It have people who believe in it and go through the process of trying to do them thing. Into houses of iniquity to try and affect other people. And we have to get out of that slave mentality. What we should be doing is when you see somebody doing good, praise them. Try to emulate them. Because you never know, them moving forward might be able to help you move forward.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think too, Sheldon, one of the things that we have to be mindful of is the whole question of fear, right, to do a lot of things, right? Some of us, we have that fear instilled, and it comes from slavery, yeah?
Yes, that's
right?
the thing.
That fear that we have to make a leap for ourselves because how other people will think of us. I mean, we are scared to succeed. We are scared to move, to do good things.
You know something that's happening now? And I don't think that a lot of people look at things from a psychological standpoint and a historical standpoint and a sociological standpoint when they do things here in Grenada. They are actually pushing our children to the point where they will think it's okay to fail.
Exactly.
Or it's okay not to achieve. And you know why? And let me use a classic example. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell was awarded by the international community as the Finance Minister of the Year, and Timothy Antoine, His Excellency, was awarded as the governor, the bank governor of the year for the Caribbean region. Now, you know what happened as soon as that happened? That's when all hell broke loose with unions. That's when you have people saying, well, you get finance minister of the year. For you to be praising and happy that your fellow Grenadian who born and grew up right here in Grenada, yeah, from not a rich family, yeah, he could tell you about having to go in the fish market and so on. He could tell you about all of that, joke basket.
Yeah, from Marlene to
he could tell you about that.
To go to school.
He could tell you about that, or having to work along with his dad, and so he could tell you about that. And for you to take that and use that as an example for your children, you have people who are supposed to be educating our children who may be in that kind of situation now, or maybe in a worse situation now, who should be trying to instill in them that, look, they were able to lift themselves up from that level to the point of being one of the most internationally and regionally respected politicians ever. And not just in the history of Grenada, in the history of the region. Because no one else in the Commonwealth of Nations has been able to achieve what he has been able to achieve. So if you look at his personal life, you'd realize that he was able to have a doctorate. He didn't buy a doctorate. He studied.
Yeah.
He earned a doctorate. He was a lecturer at university. So you're telling the children, look, this man who used to put the basket and go to the fish market and so on his head. This man who grew up not in any rich family was able to achieve, to get to the point of from poverty to prosperity. In his personal life, we ain't got to the political life yet. In his personal life, he was able to achieve. In his educational life, he was able, at one point, he was a teacher in it.
Yeah.
And then to come from being a teacher at secondary school and so to being a teacher at the university level and having a doctorate. So that in itself, without anything else attached to it, is an achievement that he was able to achieve in his political life, because the first time he ran in 1972, he got licks. He got licks. That's the only time he ever got licks. He ran in 1972 and he was beaten.
Only time he got licks.
Yeah, he was beaten. But he came back. And in 1984, he won and he's never lost since then. And he usually ranks somewhere in the 80-something, 90-something range percentage when he wins the constituency.
That's a remarkable achievement by any politician anywhere in the world, not just the Caribbean, you know. But it's a remarkable achievement politically by anyone, any individual.
So, and that's just him in his constituency. But not only that, as the general secretary of his political organization, he came within one seat of getting all the seats in 1984. There's only one seat that hold off from the NNP in 1984. That was St. Andrew Northeast. Yeah.
Winifred Strawn.
St. Andrew Northeast. That was Winifred Strawn in 1984? No, man.
Was Northeast.
St. Andrew Northeast in 1984, I believe it was, yeah.
So who it was?
Because NNP was only able to win 1984 with, is Mr. Archibald?
No, not in 95.
Yeah.
Yeah, NNP, Dr. Mitchell won with Mr. Archibald.
So that would have been 95, but NNP didn't win that seat before. That was a Gary Strong.
Yeah, that was a Gary Strong. That's what I'm thinking.
NDC has never won it.
No, Winifred Strong.
And NNP first won it in 95. So I can't remember if it's Winifred or
I think so.
We'll check just now.
She became, opposition leader later on, right? I think when she ran the second time around.
I'll tell you in a little while.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the point. He was able to do that, right? Afterwards, yes, he became the leader of the New National Party. The party lost the elections in 1990. Then he was able to win and become prime minister for the first time in 1995. And he's been able to be the longest serving prime minister of Grenada. And some people are saying that as though it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, because he didn't make himself prime minister. We went out and voted and made him prime minister. And that is something that is an achievement.
Marcel Peters.
Marcel Peters, right.
Peters, yeah.
So it is something that's an achievement. It's something that we have to be proud of, that he was able to do that. But not only that, he became prime minister in 1995. And between 1995 and 1999, was able to do so much positive things for Grenada.
Transform Grenada.
That by 1999, when you had the little conflict that took place with Grace Duncan and Raphael Fletcher,
well, 98,
yeah. Late 98. That by the time the elections took place in 1999, the NNP was able to secure for the first time all the seats, every seat. Then he came, 2008, won again, not with the 15 seats, but the NNP won again in 2003. 2008, the New National Party lost. They lost in 2008.
11-4.
Only 4 seats, 11-4.
But continue to hold on to, Dr. Mitchell continue to hold on to his constituency and, St. Mark's constituency, undefeated. Right? Because up to this day, that's the only 2 constituencies that have never
gone away from the National Party
NNP.
Since the formation of the NNP. And you had as well Carriacou and Petit Martinique and St. Andrew Northeast joining in the parliament at that time. And from opposition in 2013, not from government, from opposition in 2013 to come and win all the seats.
Yeah, boy, that is
that you had a school teacher by the name of Pablo that come and beat the certain prime minister.
I remember one of my first engagement with Dr. Mitchell while he was in opposition leader, or by Scaly. We had a gathering, and so
I remember hearing of it. I wasn't there.
right, and Dr. Mitchell, but I believe Scaly that set us up. Dr. Mitchell just appeared. And so and join us because we had this thing on Andrew Donald's station where we had the class and everything like that. And when we spoke, when he spoke, he held my hand and he said, Devon, all ain't easy, All ain't not easy. But he left it there. But it was just all smiles. But he was not bitter, but was glad to know, right, that another group of politicians was at the helm, right? And I'm telling you, man, he was wishing them well. I was right there. I was strong NDC. I mean, you couldn't tell me anything about NDC, right? And we had that cordial interaction with Dr. Mitchell and so on. That was one of the first time I really met him and face to face, and we had that chat. And
the thing is, from opposition, he was able to guide his organization into the seat of power. With all the seats again, becoming the first political leader in the Commonwealth, Caribbean, and maybe anyway, to do that twice. But then, if we thought the man was finished then, he came back and he was able to do it 3 times. And you know what? You have a lot of people that you hear saying all sorts of things about him, and they're jealous. Jealousy is the slave mentality that you see somebody achieve. And for you, in another country, a set of people that be naming the child Keith. I'm telling you, in other countries, a lot of people would have been naming the child Keith because they want their child to emulate the achievements of that individual. But here in Grenada, because some of us are locked into that slave mentality,
bitter mentality,
that anytime somebody achieve, we upset about it. As soon as they say finance minister of the year, well, all hell broke loose. It's like, how dare they give him finance minister of the year? He just beat us 15-0 again. And they're rubbing insult into injury. They're saying that he's managing the economy proper. How dare they say that? Let me mash up the country. Let me mash up the place. That is a serious symptom of jealousy, because, Devon, to prove what I'm saying, listen to them when they're talking. You hear them saying it. Oh, yeah, he's finance minister of the year. He go find the money.
Yeah. But watch it, Sheldon. I mean, all due respect, it's Dr. Mitchell. He is one of the only politicians who have went through, I mean, they talk about Sir Matthew Gary went through turmoil and all sorts of things.
Devon, let's do the manual thing.
Right? But Dr. Mitchell as a leader, as a politician, I believe had to defend himself more times than any politician in the history of Grenada. You understand? And he's still standing strong. That's why a lot of people admire him and respect him. Right? Because he's not going anywhere. He has developed that strength, within Grenada. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, my friend.
Sir. How are you?
Well, everything is wonderful. First of all, let me say, Mr. Scott and Devon, I'm a news freak, and as I continue to go across the different news channels throughout this world, I realize the kind of place Grenada is, We could say what we want, but the fact of the matter is, if we're going to associate Dr. Mitchell with as the person, the leader that governed this country for the longest period of time, and we want to associate all other negatives with him, we also have to associate the positives. And if Grenada is one of the safest places in the world, and the leader of the country has been there for the majority of that time, we have to associate something positive with him. But let me get to my main point. This is it. Well, I don't want to just use the Prime Minister name, so I must put doctor to it. Dr. Keith Mitchell thinks he is smart. And I'm saying, why not? Now, Dr. Mitchell is the longest serving Prime Minister He whitewashed your party on 3 different occasions, once back to back. The NNP as a party have succeeded where your party have failed. Dr. Mitchell is a man with a PhD. You don't even have a degree. Dr. Mitchell is a millionaire. You're broke. Dr. Mitchell have bodyguard and personal security. In case you get into any difficulties, you have to call the police. And Dr. Mitchell has just been elected finance minister of the region. Gentlemen, I'm saying all of this to say that and then we know the other accolades that goes, that is geared towards Dr. Mitchell. That's what I mentioned. I'm not going to talk about what was paid to public servants and the economy was in the cesspit prior to 2013 and things like that. I'm not going to go there. But just what I mentioned, if I have been able to achieve all of that, tell me why I shouldn't think good about myself. Tell me why I shouldn't think that I am smart. Tell me why I shouldn't think that I am ahead of my opponents who is trying to pull me down. Tell me why not. The point is that Dr. Mitchell, this gentleman, have been at the helm of a political organization that has done more for this country. Well, I always like to draw the line between the revolution and then, than any other in the last 30 plus years. I hope maybe in the next 4 or 5 years I can see the man that has done more for Grenada than any other, but I'm biased when it comes to the revolution. So that's what I'm saying, there is no other leader that can put themselves in Dr. Mitchell's shoes. What I'm saying is that, gentlemen, show all the negative at us. I can handle that. But also give me the positive and let me weigh it out. The point is that Dr. Mitchell as a leader of this country has everything to be proud of. And we as a people, we have every reason to support this gentleman with our heart, our soul, our blood, and our tears. Why? Because he has done more for us and more for the working class people in this country than any other prime minister. And Mr. Scott, and listen, let me wrap up here. And that's the reason why, as a former member and supporter of the NDC, I choose and I make a conscious decision to support the NNP because I am all about people's development and I am all about the development of the country. Gentlemen, you all have a pleasant day.
Thank you very much,
right,
bro.
my friend. Have a wonderful day.
And Devon, this is the thing. It's just a certain level of hate. Yeah. And they could duck from it as much as possible because you see some of them trying to say, no, it's not about hate. It's about hate.
It's about hate. What else?
Because if somebody is doing good and you see them doing good, you see them achieving.
And you benefiting from that good.
What they're doing, not politically, but otherwise, you're benefiting from it. But you're still attacking them. It can't be that you just have a difference of opinion. It's that you hate that individual.
Go deeper
and
than that.
Some of them, every time I say the word hate, it's like their heart does skip a beat and their stomach does going nuts because you're actually telling them how they're feeling. On a psychological level, you're explaining to them what's really going on in their mind. Because some of them, when you hear them speaking and you hear their voice trembling and how they upset and that kind of thing,
you're starting to get scared.
It has some of them, if you want to hear them cuss, just pass and say, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell is the best Prime Minister Grenada has ever seen.
No, that's heart failure.
What? They're cussing today. They're going to sleep and waking up to go and pee in the night and they're still cussing again.
Watch
and
it.
when they wake up the next morning, the first thing on their mind, they're cussing you.
Watch.
And they're driving and they're cussing. They're just upset.
Sheldon, you have a couple of persons there that was calling a particular program, right, on the mornings. When you hear the venom, the anger that these persons spreading out at Dr. Mitchell and the NNP, I myself just get scared for these individuals, right, as to their health. Because at one point in time, you could feel the vibes through the radio that they might just collapse.
The ones that are saying him like this, Eat my child.
You know what I'm saying? I'm afraid.
I have to laugh at it because it's comical for me how they say it, but it's a serious situation.
It's a serious thing.
These people run the risk of high blood pressure.
The heart problems. They could just
hit.
Yeah, hit.
And for 2019, in fact, not even for 2019, for today, not even tomorrow, do it today. Drop the hate. Get rid of it.
Yeah,
because
you have to.
There are people, and you see, Grenadians are not stupid. I hear different radio programs saying Grenadians dotish, Grenadians stupid, Grenadians coward, all sorts of things. No.
And
the people saying that are the ones who dotish and stupid and coward.
Yeah, they are the ones that are stupid and dotish.
Hide behind anonymous numbers, fake profiles, and radio studios, and they say all sorts of things. You see me, I talk here, I just go in town and Lyman. Nobody ain't doing me nothing.
They ain't respect.
Devon does be all over, they ain't doing him nothing. Because they are the ones that are coward. Nobody ain't afraid them.
They don't respect the fellow Grenadians, not even themselves they respect.
And that's not bad man talking. That is reality.
Just,
Because at the end of the day, they have so much hate in their heart, and they wouldn't drop that hate right now. They wouldn't drop that envy. Envy.
I'm sorry for them. I'm
that
sorry.
They have. They wouldn't just drop it right now from their heart.
I'm sorry for them.
You know,
Doc,
one caller said, "Oh, people calling here and attack the teachers." Nobody call here and attack the teachers.
We have time for that.
People call and they spoke about the only time anybody ever said anything that could be considered negative would have been when they call and they said, "Listen, the teacher's been saying this to the students, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm not taking it back. They're wrong. They should not do it. You cannot go and be telling children that in the class, look, we have 2 children in here today. You know there are children that up to now just get out of the schools just like that. They ain't feeling to go. You heard a student herself saying this morning that, look, a lot of student average drop. You know what the average dropping means? That means that when they're looking to apply to a university later on, and this period is taken into consideration that their GPA may be too low to get into a university, you're affecting these children's ability to get into university later and to develop themselves. And while you're doing that, you're encouraging them to be failures by saying a person who is successful, who should be a model that you're building things on, you're saying, look, that person, they're wicked, they're evil. And it's the same.
Ask them why.
It's the same kind of mentality. Let me talk the things now. It's the same sort of mentality that when you who listening right now, who has been doing your night job and your additional work and so on and putting your money into Grenville Credit Union and into Cooperative Bank and into Ariza and saving your little money, and you decide now that for 2019 you ain't taking bus again, you're going and drive, and you went and you get your license. They didn't see when you're going and get your license.
No, they didn't see. You're paying $100.
But they see when you get the new vehicle, and might be a second-hand vehicle and it mightn't be brand new, but they see you get the vehicle now and you're driving. That's the same people going and say, but with them working to buy vehicle, drugs they're doing.
Yeah, and they know it's the bank. It's the bank money you have, and the bank money that buying the vehicle for you.
You catching your hell to pay back your loan.
To pay back a loan.
But you see them? So did they. They're too wicked. The drugs they're dealing with. Or they running. This one, she's a prostitute. That's where she got the money to buy that. But they didn't see when that person was going and working bar in the night, in a function, or when they were going and work here.
Or they have their own private business that they don't know about.
Yeah. Or when they're going around the island doing sales because they're not doing it in their area. They're seeing when these people making the sacrifices. They see the outcome. And these are the people that can't reach anywhere in life because they focus on everybody else.
And they spend most of their time
the city man
focusing on other people's business than theirs.
As we say, it's good to Marco, but at the same time, mind your business.
Mind your business. Marco yours.
Yeah.
Marco your business.
Because some of them, they spend time watching other people's children. Yeah. So you spend your time watching, this one daughter that, and this one son that. And you ain't checking on your own.
What yours
and
doing?
Your own might be doing something 20 times worse than the other people's children you're talking about and watching.
Exactly.
But you're busy trying to hide what yours doing. But you're talking about other because you want to shift the attention. Yeah. Come on, people. Get out of that slavery mentality. We have to come out of there. Get out of that sort of slave mentality.
Independence.
Yeah. So you imagine, you have children that are being told a person who they should be looking up to You're trying to break that person down in those children's minds. So you're telling them, go and ask Keith Mitchell for a Christmas party.
Yeah. And hate him. When you see him, hate him.
Go and ask Keith Mitchell for a Christmas party. Well, you come in go and ask him for a Christmas party.
And call him
and
all
this
sorts
sort
of
thing.
derogatory. Yeah, that's
and the
one
children
of the things
are simply repeating what they're hearing.
Yeah. Some of them, they listen to their parents, they listen to the radio program, and they hear elders who's supposed to be setting good examples for them to follow. They're hearing elders, teachers, nurses, doctors, persons that they look up to, spreading negative things about another Grenadian, another human being. What does that tell them? Right? What does that, I mean, what does that instill in them? Fear, hatred, not love? That's all you're trying to do. Bring fear and hatred towards our young ones when we should be preaching love, togetherness. Right? That is what we need. That is the environment we need for our younger ones today. To stretch out a hand and help each other. That is how most of us, right, as parents were brought up.
Watch man going class party.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so you see, that's it.
But you cannot do that. And as then, if you all realize, the genesis of this thing was that Dr. Mitchell won finance minister of the year, That's the genesis of a lot of this thing, because you can't tell me since the 3rd of October you walk off the table.
Yeah.
You wait until referendum, the day before referendum, to call your strike.
To call your strike.
It's jealousy.
Yeah,
it's jealousy by certain individuals. There's a lot of jealousy. And you hear it from them when they keep repeating, and you get finance minister of the year.
Yeah, they pay the money now.
You're supposed to be proud of that, not trying to scoff at it. What you get for the year? I mean, it has some. Nazem, we doing that one?
Emulate and uplift yourself.
The one I sent you yesterday, we doing that at the year? I ain't go say the word on air. We doing that one, right? Yeah. You want to put out something? Yeah, you get something at the year.
Emulate and
uplift
yourself. You understand? We need to start looking at our fellow brother men and mirror ourselves. The good you want for yourself, you must want it for your fellow brothers, your brothers and sisters right next to you. That is how the love must be shared throughout this country. Grenada is a beautiful country. Others come out from outside and enjoy the beauty, the warmth of Grenada, and we are inside here being bitter and arrogant and hateful to each other. I mean, come on, we need to do better than that. We need to set better examples for our children. And move away from that hatred of one man or political organization or of some politicians of what they stand for, right? Because they've been successful, we tend to tear them down, align them with all sorts of things. We need to stop that.
Name one successful person in Grenada who has not been attacked by people who ain't achieve anything.
Oh.
Name one. Karani James, who is Karani James, win our Olympic gold medal, Olympic silver medal, World Championship, Olympic medal, Commonwealth Games, only Pan American Games I didn't hear go in and lick up. World Youth Champion. And you still here. Grenadians.
Yeah, licking them up.
I mean, I can't do it around me because I'll cuss all you. You can't do it around me. You only know me I talk plain. Can't do it around me. But you still have our own people. When you lose a race, oh, girl is studying now. Them kind of nonsense.
Imagine when
Karani,
Yeah, imagine that.
So no matter who you are, you're going to get these kind of things happening.
We need to move away from that slave mentality,
man. To get rid of that slave mentality. I'm going to preach it, and I'm going to preach it until the day I close my eye or it change.
Yeah.
We need to get out of that slave mentality, because that slave mentality is why you see certain people operating in the way that they're operating today. That you're going to spite children. You're spiting the children. Yeah. The children are the ones. You might have your child in university and so on, or you might have your degree and that kind of thing already. But the children are the ones coming up who have to apply to a university that now going to have a lower grade point average than they should have had. And it's going to affect their ability to get into a good university. It's going to affect them.
You know, as you talk about that, a couple of mornings I was standing just before I come down to work. And there was a group of SAS boys walking down, going down to school. After 8, about close to 25 past 8, half past 8. I was like, what's wrong with you all this kind of time you are going to school? You know what they turn around and tell me? Walk the rule, man. Walk the rule. I just laugh and I just, do continue that conversation with them. I mean, even the children, right, are being affected in different ways of what is going on, but we're not paying attention to it. They might make fun of what is going on now, but they don't have a choice. They are being affected by what is going on, but only how they can express themselves, right, is by making fun of what is going on. And we as elders and so, we're not paying attention to the younger ones as to how this thing is affecting them. We need to step back and look at our children, look at the generation that is coming up, how they are feeling when things like that happen. All right, and a lot of children are bitter. When you look at the Form 3 and the Form 4 and the Form 5 students who have been neglected of time. Time lost can never regain.
Let me say this,
it's
because
sad.
we're out of time.
Yeah.
So let me say this though.
Oh wow!
Right? Yeah, we're out of time, but yeah. But let me say this, the portion of those who are doing what they're doing right now in their own personal selfish interests and not in the interests of the country or the children, you know what Zebapic is? That is how bitter your future are going to be. Yeah. The future generations will boy, Zebapic, you can use a whole leaf on it. You have to use an eighth of a leaf with some water and it's still too bitter.
Oh my God.
So your future will be bitter as Zebapic. Yeah? That's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with you. We intend to be back tomorrow, God's willing. And whatever you say and whatever you do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
Yeah, you want to play a tune for Dr. Mitchell before we go?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll play a tune for Dr. Mitchell before we go. Let me play.
The star shines brightly in the sky. We'll never let it down.
We shall never let a party fall, for we love it the best of all. We don't have to fight to show our might, 'cause when we start we will fight. With peace and love you'll hear us sing. God save a party, God save the peace. At the ending of the day, victory for all. We'll never let a party fall.
Grenada discusses measures to significantly improve its billfish and tuna markets. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, December 11th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Grenada is charting the course for the conservation and improvement of its billfish and tuna markets for 2019 and beyond. This forms part of concerns associated with the Grenada National Biodiversity and Action Plan 2016 to 2020, which aims to increase market recognition to achieve balanced, sustainable development in the fisheries sector. The billfish and tuna markets were placed under the microscope during a stakeholders engagement meeting on Monday. Minister with responsibility for forestry and fisheries, Honorable Alvin Dabrio, said Grenada has to first address its shortfalls in data collection and management. He said FAO has sponsored and upgraded 2 of its locations with new digital data software.
At this moment, a digital data collection and recording system are being installed at Southern Fisheries Association, Guave, and Grenville, and the staff are being trained in their use. These systems were obtained under the FAO World Bank Caribbean Billfish Project. This will greatly enhance the data collection at these sites, thereby allowing for the timely submission of data by the Fisheries Division. And this current method, although we know it's cumbersome and slow, but it is very important.
Chief Fisheries Officer Crofton Isaac highlighted all that has been done with the assistance of the World Bank and FAO to help the sector realize its true potential.
Not only did we have the core of the project, which is the conservation and management of billfishes, which, as we know, are under enormous threat to the stocks, and that's why we're trying to conserve them. But we have also been able to do a complete review of our laws and regulations. We have done a FAD management plan. We have reviewed the fisheries policy. We have done a fisheries performance indicator study, and we have done other studies related to the sector. And the primary aim of this project is to set out a proper management plan and conservation plan for the billfishes, and at the same time to provide an improved tuna fishery.
Arlen Wasserman, founder of the U.S. consultancy company Changing Taste, recommended that Grenada identify new markets and add value to its varying grades of tuna to make more out of the fish stock.
If you want to sell more money, sell each fish for more money, a both-and approach. Over the near term, market Grenada Pure or Grenada Fresh Yellowfin Tuna into the Southeast U.S., help your current supply chain be more successful at selling your fish as Grenadian tuna and getting the end buyer to recognize and want that, and try and take some of the lower grade tuna or other parts of the tuna and develop a value-added product that would also benefit from the same type of marketing campaign and try and introduce it into the same place.
Dr. Didicus Jules, Director General of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, says it is time the region gets rid of its posture of dependence on foreign aid and begin coming up with innovative ideas that can help sustain its economy. He was addressing a recent two-day Caribbean Entrepreneurship Summit at the Radisson Beach Resort, which targeted early-to-growth stage entrepreneurs across the region.
We cannot continue to assume that our problems must be solved by other persons. And I think we have a serious responsibility to begin to look at ways in which we can creatively manage and fend for ourselves.
U.S. Chargé d'Affaires Stephen Fram, who also addressed the two-day summit, said the U.S. wants to be a partner to the Caribbean in creating and expanding business opportunities with a focus on helping women entrepreneurs expand their businesses. For this, a special loan program will be offered through OPIC, the Overseas Private Investment Corporation. OPIC is a self-sustaining U.S. government agency that helps American businesses invest in emerging markets. It fulfills its mission by providing businesses with financing, political risk insurance, advocacy, and by partnering with private equity investment fund managers.
They and the United States government have entered into an agreement to create loans that through private banks, small loans for women, for businesses owned by women in the Caribbean and elsewhere. And in the future, we will bring more information about this, how banks here can offer these products to the businesses for women here.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
Big business don't participate.
Welcome back. The Marketing and National Importing Board, MNIB, is exploring ways to eliminate financial loss and food spoilage while increasing global markets and promoting food safety. That's according to Chairman of the board, Christopher Diali. Addressing the launch of a 3-day workshop on food safety for farmers and stakeholders, Diali said it is critical to ensure food safety from the field to the user. Over the years, MNIB has placed heavy emphasis on the sanitary compliance of the fresh produce, improving the food safety legislation, and maintaining HACCP compliance. Diali said the main challenge for the Marketing and National Importing Board is eliminating food spoilage and financial loss.
One of the challenges I've met is that whenever our stuff goes out, it leaves here, certified in terms of what we think is right packing, no spoilage, and so on. And then it reaches the supplier, we get back a huge claim saying that there's massive spoilage at the other end. That is a challenge that we have. And you know what that does? When we send a shipment, 5,000 US, supplier comes back and say we have 1,000 US in spoilage, we lose our monies. We still seem to have a complete understanding yet, and in process, how we get certification on the other end to ensure that when the stuff reaches there, it reaches as it left here. And if there is spoilage, what percentage? What is the standard that we're going to work to? What is acceptable limits for us when we ship fresh produce? And that is a challenge that we have. So we see this training in terms of from field to end user critical.
Chief Agricultural Officer Daniel Lewis stressed the importance of linking food safety practices to an increase in global markets, which will result in the overall improvement of the agriculture sector.
For countries or entities who do not have good food safety standards, and especially in light of what is happening at the global level, I think you would not be in a position to capitalize on all potential markets. Food safety, implementation of good food safety systems is really intertwined with the whole question of trade and everything else.
And finally, Cabinet has established a number of subcommittees to address a number of major projects in the country. One of them is the Major Projects Committee, which is charged with restoring and constructing significant infrastructural projects. Senator Norland Cox, Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture and the Arts, gave an update recently during his contribution to the 2019 budget.
One such is the Governor General residence just on the road, the York House, the museum and the library, which was raised, Mr. President. Mr. President, currently on the government website, expressions of interest are there for investors who are interested in investing through a bold system to ensure that those buildings can be restored. Mr. President, that committee is comprised of a number of persons, a number of critical stakeholders. Just to also inform that the MP for the town of St. George's insisted that certain composition be focused on in terms of the committee to ensure that the town of St. George's do not lose its historical look. So we have persons from the Willie Redded Foundation and other critical organizations sitting on that committee to ensure that we restore those critical and important structures, Mr. President.
That story just brought the curtains down on the national report for today, Tuesday, December 11th. Let's recap the top story. Grenada discusses measures to significantly improve its billfish and tuna markets. On behalf of all those who made this newscast possible, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for viewing. Until next time.
Putting the lens on Grenada, its people and its possibilities. This is State of Affairs. Presenting this week, I am Sherian Noel. Keys the multi-million-dollar modern port facility at Tyrrell Bay, Carriacou officially handed over to manager of Grenada Ports Authority, Carl Felix, during an official ceremony. More comfortable learning environment for preschoolers in New Hampshire as new wing is now complete. And the Ministry of Labour, with the assistance of the International Labour Organization, trade union representatives and employers, work on occupational health and safety policy for Grenada. These are the images from across Grenada. This is State of Affairs. More stories after this.
Yeah, I know you are from back to back, can I? There's no way that a man can ever beat you. When we went to about 5
What are the last?
Too fast. Man, run with Yo, Rennie, hold on. Rennie, you're not the same girl. You're all that motor. In truth. Yeah. That's your chance, Rennie. Hold on. It's the walk. Alright.
Whenever a pedestrian is attempting to cross a pedestrian crossing or any other road, he must first stop and make sure that there is no oncoming vehicle. However, if there is any oncoming vehicle, he crosses briskly from one side to the other. If there is any vehicle proceeding, he ensures that vehicles come to a complete stop. After that vehicle comes to a complete stop, he crosses briskly from one side to the other. Remember, your safety comes first.
Tyrrell Bay Port in Carriacou has been officially commissioned and is expected to commence official operations by end of October 2018. The port, which was constructed at a cost of $7.3 million EC, will see the suspension of Hillsborough as a sister isle principal port of entry. For some time, there has been calls on the administration to construct a proper facility for Carriacou, as the present facility at Hillsborough has outlived its time and was no longer appropriate for the volume of activities and daily traffic. Wendy Edmond has more.
The newly constructed port in Tyrrell Bay is a replacement to the old structure in Hillsborough, which was in danger of collapsing and as such presented a danger to life and limb of those who used it. Prime Minister and the Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, who attended the official opening of the $3.4 million Tyrrell Bay Port facility in Carriacou in early October, said that the project is part of the infrastructural development for the sister isles.
I'm particularly pleased with what is taking place here today because it has enormous implication for economic spin-off for the people of Carriacou and Pidemonic and the country as a whole.
The contract was awarded to Jiangsu Geology and Engineering Company Limited, and the sword was turned to mark the start of construction in January of 2017. Now, after 18 months of construction work and modification of design, a new structure has emerged, complete with a welcome center, sit-in facilities, warehouse and office space, and washroom facility. General Manager of the Ports Authority, Carlisle Felix, now anticipates enhanced service for passengers from regional and international ferry services.
We at the Grenada Ports Authority are very happy that at long last we are able to provide persons traveling between Grenada and Carriacou with all of the basic amenities that traveling persons deserve. In that regard, we do hope that persons traveling on the Osprey and other local ferries are going to appreciate the shelter from the elements, the restroom facilities that have been provided, the seating accommodation, as well as the comfort of air condition that will be available as the need arrives.
Former Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, Alvin Nimrod, was recognized by Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell for his initiative to ensure the port facility was constructed. Dr. Mitchell also spoke of future plans that will spell greater economic benefits for the sister isle. One of them is a decision by Carnival Cruise Lines to extend further cruises to Carriacou and Petite Martinique, while the other will be upgraded air transport facilities. He said plans are already in train for an extension of the runway in Carriacou to accommodate small jets.
Plans are being laid with a Chinese company, looking at designs to increase that runway facility, provide opportunity for small jets to land. The final plan would be to create a new airport, and that, of course, has been identified in the Dumfries area, and that will be, of course, it will take a lot more resources, and so the medium-term plan and long-term would be this. The short-term plan would be taking care of the increase in runway space at the airport. What that means, sisters and brothers, further development for our country, further opportunities at all sectors of the society.
Parliamentary Representative for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, Honorable Kendra Maturin Stewart, said the new facility holds significant economic benefits for Carriacou and, by extension, Grenada.
What we, the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, have today is a state-of-the-art and modern port facility with significant improvement in warehouse space. With this facility, we expect to see significant improvement in the service to port users, a reduction in cargo dwell time, and improvement in vessel turnaround time.
Minister Maturin Stewart says that she is happy that passengers will no longer be exposed to the elements of the weather while waiting to board the ferry, since the facility took into account the island's future developmental needs.
These facilities will not only ease the burden of transacting business, but it will also allow for increase in the volume of business we see here in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. More people will want to do business here now that the facilities are here. I am very confident that these facilities will open new opportunities for our people, with larger ships berthing here at times.
Persons who use the port in Carriacou on a regular basis gave their views on the change of port location in Carriacou.
I've been on the ground here for quite a while, and my opinion basically is that it will impact positively on most of the taximen lives, because the 40% of the people that we have coming into the island basically centered somewhere around Hillsborough area, and now that the port is relocated, it means an extra dollar in the taximan pocket. The tongue will remain the tongue, as far as I understand it, but the port in itself will be in Harveyville, so the amount of volume of traffic that you have flowing from Harveyville to Tongue will increase by 40%. At the beginning, probably would grow more at a later date. The taximen are excited. We just need a little bit of cooperation within the system as we go to Harveyville in the way that we will be operating.
It will be an additional expense in terms of transportation of material from the new port, because basically that means that it's no longer a case where there are some items that can be discharged from Hillsborough and other items that cannot be accommodated from Hillsborough be discharged at Harveyville. That means everything inclusive of cement. Well, I mean, there's Nothing I can do to change the situation. The most we can do is see what creative ways we have to absorb or reduce the expense of transportation in terms of getting materials from Tyrrell Bay. But I don't look at it as a loss of business in comparison to some of my fellow businessmen, because when you look at businesses in Grenada, there are some businesses that are further away from the port that strive a lot better. You have to make creative ways in enticing your customers to come to your business and have lucrative prices and have your customers satisfied, so that if they have to go all the way to Paddy's Enterprise, they know they're getting good quality and good service. You know, and that's my take on the situation. I don't really think it's going to be to our detriment. For that matter, there are certain things that could not be done in St. George's that we're entertaining doing from Harvey Vale. For example, we have some equipment that could not be utilized because of the condition of the jetty. The port has decided that it is too heavy to be used on a jetty, but as the port is moving into Tyrrell Bay, those equipments will be used to transport our material from Tyrrell Bay to our site here.
Meanwhile, those who are concerned about the traffic arrangement in the Tyrrell Bay area because of the new port are being assured by the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force Caracas branch that plans are already in place to ensure a smooth flow. This has been a look at the newly constructed port facility in the Tyrrell Bay Harbour. For State of Affairs, I am Wendy Edmond reporting.
This is a Grenadian reality. This is our current state of affairs.
Guys, if I ask you what you think is the most deadly or the most dangerous creature on this planet, what are you going to say?
A shark.
Shark.
A lion.
A lion. If I tell you it's a mosquito, what do you guess?
Mosquito. A mosquito.
It is a mosquito.
Mosquito bites result in the deaths of more than 1 million people every year. Thriving in humid and damp areas, mosquitoes reproduce quickly. The females lay their eggs in water and water-holding containers. When the pupa changes into adults, they leave the water and become free-flying biting insects. These biting pests can carry a number of diseases. Once you have a mosquito problem, check out your surroundings. It means that the mosquito breeding source is near your home. It is almost impossible to get rid of mosquitoes entirely. However, we can all play our part in controlling the mosquito population. Mosquito control is not solely the responsibility of the Ministry of Health, but it's also the responsibility of every member of the community.
It is said for a child to excel in his or her education, an environment conducive for learning is of paramount importance. With this fact in mind, the government of Grenada through the Ministry of Education has addressed the issue of space at the New Hampshire preschool, which for years had been adversely affected by its small size and lack of adequate amenities. The new wing was recently handed over in the presence of Prime Minister and Parliamentary Representative for the area, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell.
For quite some time, the New Hampshire preschool in Willis St. George has been adversely affected by its small size, lack of adequate amenities, and a roof that was termite infested and slowly falling apart.
There were bats living in the roof, and it was kind of hazardous for the health.
The roof, it was dusty at times. There were noises that was very distracting to the teachers and the students. And so on, there were water marks on the wall, so we know that the roof definitely was a problem.
Our children needed space and a much cleaner environment. But at my school, it was like a matchbox. We were all crammed together. Just imagine. Staff and pupils, we all use the same toilet.
Before, the school only had 2 classrooms. We had 3 teachers to teach, so we had to combine 2 classes in one. So there will be a 4+ and 2 triplets together.
There were no kitchen facilities at the school, which proved to be quite inconvenient.
Before I used to go down at the big school and bring up lunch every day.
Before, the meals were really late.
We then made a plea for help. Our dear Prime Minister heard that call and answered. Sir, to you I must say thank you, a special thank you, for your quick response and a job well done.
Construction work began on the school extension project in June 2018 and took 2 months to complete with a team of approximately 7.
The scope of work is a 10 by 24 building, classroom, a toilet and a kitchen. But we also do a repair on the roof, the whole entire roof. Yeah, you had termites and things, so we take out the whole roof and put new plies and whatsoever. Yeah, so that's what took us the 2 months.
At a total cost of approximately 60,000 EC dollars, the New Hampshire preschool welcomed the addition of its new wing at an opening ceremony on October 1st, 2018. The school now has an additional classroom, washroom facilities for staff, and a well-equipped kitchen. Student meals are now always on time.
It's better more than if they have to take it from quite in constant time and bring it here for them. So food cook on time. I shared at 11:30. They get everything on time, and the children always ask for more food. They have a nice kitchen, and the workers who are in the kitchen is very nice people.
Well, the parents they are quite pleased.
Some of my children come to that facility up here. Them children will learn. I feel they go learn better up here because they have more space, and now they're getting hard food.
Teachers are not sick as before. Now we are breathing fresher air, and we are at school every day now, so we don't have to take any sick leave or anything like that.
I like to see the situation with them. They have a better place, you know, so they could move about and they could play, you understand?
I know from all that was provided here, we will have a better outcome in learning.
More materials and so have been added to the classroom, so they have more to interact with as it regards to learning.
I'm proud of the fact to have some say in what is taking place today, because I know what it is to want an education and cannot get it and have to struggle to get it. So when it's coming to your doorstep, you can't afford to miss it. So I want to thank all of you. It's your initiative, you know. You all need the most credit. We did our part, but I also want to say that without you guys' initiative, we wouldn't be here today.
As a community, we felt good, and we were encouraged when we saw our very own young men and young women from right here in the village working hard, working tirelessly, working overtime to make sure that we have a top-class facility.
It was not a hard thing for them because they know how to work, and they had some good men, and I'm proud of them.
Us really made our day.
Contractors Richard Braveboy and his brother Joseph Braveboy are from the New Hampshire community.
All my workers is from the community. 2 of the painters is from out. Yeah, we have 2 ladies, which is Kisha and Natalie. They work very well. Yeah, and then 3 other guys.
And they work day well as night to see the building go up. Rain and not rain, they was there. Put hands together, hand in hand. Right now, it's good, and I love to see it.
We're quite happy to do it and continue to look out for more work.
I want to say thanks to the contractors and the government for hiring me.
We expect a lot of good things coming from the community because of this new environment you have here. So parents, continue to give your support to the school, continue to secure and guard this place.
On the behalf of the principal, teachers, and the PTA of the New Hampshire Pre-Primary School, we would like to express our sincerest thanks to our Prime Minister, Dr. Mitchell, our Parliamentary Representative, Brother Tobias Clement, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Work, and every other person who are involved in making sure that we have this lovely institution that we have today.
I believe that we in New Hampshire here will go from strength to strength with your support.
For State of Affairs, I'm Annette Moore.
This is the Grenadian reality. This is our current state of affairs. A policy that will look at safety at the workplace is now nearing completion. The Ministry of Labour, with assistance from the International Labour Organization Specialist for Social Protection and Occupational Safety, Ariel Pino, recently conducted Part 2 of a Occupational Health and Safety Tripartite discussion to come up with a final working document to present to the relevant stakeholders as it relates to occupational health and safety. This is in keeping with the fact that the Government of Grenada in 2012 ratified Convention 155 that deals with safety and health in the workplace. A draft National Occupational Safety and Health Policy for Grenada is nearing completion. The Ministry of Labour, in partnership with the International Labour Organization (ILO), held a workshop recently at the Grenada Trade Centre Annex to deal with the process of policy for government. ILO Specialist for Social Protection and Occupational Safety and Health, Ariel Pino, lent his expertise to the workshop, which took the form of a tripartite discussion with employers, government and trade unions. In 2012, the Government of Grenada ratified Convention 155 that deals with safety and health in the workplace, and in 2016, the first consultative workshop supported by the ILO was held to begin the process of the development of the Occupation Safety Health Policy for Grenada. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Labour, Lima Frederick, says her ministry sees the hosting of the tripartite discussion as timely and in the best interest of the working population of Grenada.
Today is a continuation of the work which began in 2016 and which we need to bring closure to by hosting this workshop to finalize the policy. We cannot delay any longer on the completion of this document. Occupational safety and health in the workplace is an integral part of one's work life. Good practices enable a worker to be safe on the job while continuing to provide for his or her family. It also improves the image and the bottom line of a company. However, the absence of safety and health can incur loss of lives, grief to family and friends, loss of income, poor image of a company, and the employment of damage control initiatives to reverse bad practices. The NIS paid out over $300,000 from January to July 2017 and for the same period in 2018 for employment injury, that is injury on the job, and over $6 million in sickness benefits from January to July 2018 and over $4 million from January to July 2017 for the same sickness benefit.
Labour Commissioner Cyrus Griffith says the Ministry of Labour sees the workshop as one of significant importance.
We have a draft policy which we started in 2016 and we intend to complete it today. We have this session where we break up into three groups: the government group, the employers group and the trade union group, and they will report after an hour and a half or thereabout. We're going to be separating, discussing the whole policy and give us some feedback. When we receive that feedback, Mr. Peter will go back to the office in Trinidad and formulate a document and we submitted to the various parties who are represented here today. And with that, we were able to have a policy to guide us with regards to safety and health in the workplace. Mind you, we have a draft bill. And normally we do the policy first and then the bill, and then we go to Parliament into legislation. But we decided to do the policy because we have some issues with the draft bill. Hence the reason why we want to get the policy compact, and then we get the bill to Parliament and into legislation.
Griffith says once the process is completed and the information is forwarded to the ILO office in Trinidad, a working document will be forthcoming by the end of 2018.
Hopefully by the end of this year, because he worked very quickly and he has done work in Guyana, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and now he's working with Grenada. But the only country has a policy besides Grenada is Guyana, as he said. And he's worked on a policy for St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and now he's working with Grenada. So St. Lucia are already almost there with their policy. So we are getting there slowly but surely with the assistance of the ILO, as I said, and we hope that at the end of this session today, we would have set out to achieve what we intend to achieve.
Mr. Griffith explained further what the next step will be after the completion of the discussions.
This other issue we did in there is safety and health in the workplace, injury on the job, employer providing a safe place of work for workers, providing safety equipment, etc., right, like hard hats, steel tip boots for construction workers and so on. And even we have a nice air-conditioned office, then we provide, instead of having mats or rug, we have tiles on the floor, so at least easier for to clean, and there will be no kind of bugs and that sort of thing and termites in the carpets. So these are what we're looking at. Safety and health in the workplace.
ILO Specialist for Social Protection and Occupational Safety and Health, Ariel Pino, says the tripartite discussion is indeed important for all stakeholders involved.
The process that started in November 2016 in developing a national OSH policy is coming to a conclusion today in terms of technical validation of the draft. So today the stakeholders, workers and employers will discuss with the government to finalize the draft that was produced by the Department of Labor with the support of the ILO.
Pino says his precise role was to provide technical advice to the Department of Labor and ILO constituents to help improve and advance the OSH policy for Grenada.
It is very important because it's showing the commitment of the government and the workers and the employers in advancing the agenda on occupational safety and health. It is not just because of the health and safety of the workers, but by improving this area as part of the decent work agenda of the ILO, what is actually happening is that the productivity is increasing, the absenteeism is lower, the moral of the workers is increasing, the perception of the people by the companies is also increased. So it has much more than safety and health. It has a lot of positive effects for the economy and for the socio-economic development of Grenada.
Grenada, he says, is not the only island in the region he is working with at the moment to get the OSH policy completed.
Well, now we will receive all the comments. We'll then work with the Ministry of Labor to incorporate these comments in the final version of the draft. And then it's up to the government then to proceed with the formal validation process in terms of political validation, whether it's through legal affairs, through cabinet. I don't know exactly what will be the process, but we from the ILO will support the Department of Labor in incorporating these comments from the stakeholders.
Once the occupational safety health policy is in place, Griffith says it will be much easier for labour officers to monitor employers as it relates to health and safety at the workplace.
You see, this area that we're dealing with, the policy, is a three-pronged approach, because the convention, which is 155, convention 155, the convention set out to have a tripartite approach, employers, government and trade unions. So therefore, if there is an issue in our workplace, we have employers representative here. Therefore, it's much easier for us to monitor and manage the situation with regards to injury on the job, employer not providing a safe place of work for workers, etc. And we find out using the word workers instead of employees, because when you go to the ILO, they say workers and workers organization, employers and employers organization. So we say workers. So if you go to any workplace, right, and it is not safe, then the employer will provide a safe place, because they are party to this whole scenario with regards to the safety and health draft bill and the policy.
Occupation safety and health must be seen as a value system that has to be fully integrated in the workforce and organization culture of the workplace. I am Sherian Noel, and this is the State of Affairs. And that's our picture this week from the home front. That's the current state of affairs. I am Sherian Noel.